Chapter 481, Bei Cao Chuan. In a distant dark corner, close to 10 people were gazing at the battlefield. They were the higher-ups of Bei tribe who had escaped. Zheng tribe is done for. Bei tribe leader Bei Cao Chuan sighed. Who would have thought Xianxia had a third myriad wolf king? An elder exclaimed in shock, expressing everyone's inner thoughts. They had never expected Fang Yuan to be hiding his strength. In the attack against Bei clan, this myriad wolf king had been hidden all along and never made its appearance. With 3 myriad wolf kings, it is normal for Zheng tribe, a mid-scale tribe, to be defeated even if they have the lightning spear core. However, Xianxia is really sinister. He could actually wait so patiently to this degree. Such temperament is terrifying. So what? Zheng tribe leader killed Night Wolf Myriad Beast King before his death. Now, Xianxia only has 2 myriad wolf kings left. Some of the remnant Bei tribe elders sighed with sorrow, while some sneered. Capturing a myriad beast king was not an easy matter. Fang Yuan's loss appeared to be very disastrous to them. But in fact, replenishing the myriad wolf king was only a thought away for Fang Yuan, who could connect to treasure Yellow Heaven. This Xianxia is crazy and cruel. He could have made the Night Wolf Myriad Beast King retreat temporarily, but he kept on pushing it firmly, leading to its death. An elder said with a chill in his heart. Bei tribe leader narrowed his eyes, recalling the battlefield that was vivid in his mind. If he had not pushed this strongly, they might not have been able to settle the battle so quickly. Ji tribe is unable to sustain a battle of attrition when attacking a large group with their small group. Xianxia's move was very wise. It is a pity Zheng tribe leader also died. He was a rank 4 upper stage expert if he could have lived. Bei tribe elders sighed. The reason for this was also because Zheng tribe leader was overly fond of battles, using all his strength to fight with the enemy. After a long battle, his primeval essence was greatly consumed. But when he wanted to escape, his path was cut off by Night Wolf Myriad Beast King and in the end did not manage to escape. And Zheng tribe's lightning spear core were almost completely exterminated with only 2 to 3 small fry remaining. These 2 matters were fatal strikes to Zheng tribe's morale. Their tribe leader sacrificed himself and the core was exterminated. Zheng tribe lost resistance and was utterly destroyed. Ji tribesmen charged into the camp and unfolded an unrestrained massacre. Zheng tribe showed no intent to battle and did their best to escape. Cries of agony and pleading could be heard endlessly. There even appeared scenes where a rank 1 Gu master chased after 2 to 3 rank 2 Gu masters. It was not that these rank 2 Gu masters did not want to fight, but their primeval essence had been severely consumed in the battle with the wolf group. Without primeval essence, a Gu master's battle strength would fall to the abyss. The remnant Bei tribesmen fell into silence as they saw Zheng tribe's miserable state. They could not help thinking back to the scene where their own camp was attacked. Every one of them gnashed their teeth and clenched their fists, their heart filled with fury and also a bleak feeling. Chaos was descending. Every 10 years in northern plains, a disastrous blizzard would appear, causing great unrest where heroes rose and vied for supremacy. At that time, the unrest would spread to the entire northern plains. This situation was no more than a prelude of it. Human lives would be cheap as grass as tribes wandered around without a home. Small or mid-scale tribes would be like duckweed, being involuntarily swept up by the whirlpool of the battle. They could be crushed if they were in the slightest bit careless. Even large-scale tribes had to be extremely cautious and careful. Only those super tribes who had Go immortals and possessed blessed lands had the foundation to remain standing for ages. Lord Tribe Leader, our primeval essence is already recovered. Originally, we wanted to rescue Zheng tribe, but they are already defeated now. Why don't we go back and take down the Ji tribesmen at our camp and save our tribesmen? At this moment, an elder suggested, "Right. Xianxia's appetite is too big. He broke through our camp, then went on to destroy Zheng tribe. According to his crazy momentum, he might even be going to Pei tribe. We need to take the opportunity to go back and kill them. The people Ji tribe left behind there might be more in number, but they are all rank 1 and rank 2 Gu masters, with only 1 rank 3 elder. The elders could not help being agitated as they looked at their tribe leader. Although they had fewer numbers, all of them had rank 3 cultivation while their tribe leader was at rank 4 realm. With such strength, they had a huge chance to go back and save their tribe. However, the young Bei tribe leader shook his head and resolutely refused. We cannot. Although G tribe left behind very few people and we can go to seize back our camp, but what happens after that? We are too few in numbers, information about our return will definitely leak. After Xianxia obtains the news and if he returns, would we be able to defend? Can we escape safely with our tribesmen? The group of elders went mute. Bei Cao Chuan was correct. When they had been defending before, they were at full strength, yet they were still broken by the wolf tide, let alone now. Let them become captives. Relax. You saw that after the battle ended, G tribe bound the tribesmen and did not kill them. They want to expand their strength. Their appetite is too big. Bei Cao Chuan snorted and continued. We will leave our tribesmen with them for the moment. In a short period of time, this will cause their rations to be consumed, and they will have to use more manpower and divide more energy. An elder's eyes suddenly brightened. Then why don't we directly attack their nest? Zhu tribe is only a mid-sized tribe now, and they have brought out almost all their forces. Their camp definitely has poor defenses right now. We will kill and loot, empty their rations and increase the burden on them, and let them have a taste of being attacked. Good idea. Right? This is a good way. I will definitely let Gi tribe taste the pain of being homeless. The elders discussed in excitement.
Fools!
Bei tribe leader slammed the suggestion and looked at everyone with a chilly and sharp gaze. Do you all have pig brains? If we destroy their rations, the ones who would suffer would be our tribesmen. You think they won't kill the captives to reduce the consumption? If someone recognized us, what will we do if they kill the captives to vent their anger? Bei Cao Chuan let out a breath of turbid air, his eyes shining with wisdom as he said in a heavy voice, true revenge is not indulging in quick pleasure. Attacking G tribe camp is a small thing. We can't hurt their foundation with it. Only by killing Xianxia, removing G tribe's main source of power, can we overturn the situation. We need to fight. These words enlightened all the elders. Lord Tribe Leader is wise. With Lord Tribe Leader with us, our tribe has hope. We will listen to Tribe Leader's arrangements. The elders looked at Bei Tribe Leader with respect and admiration. Bei Tribe Leader Bei Cao Chuan was also an outstanding person. He had been pushed aside by his siblings when he was young, the most unlikely candidate to the young master position. He took less actions, disguised his strength, and showed a low cultivation. Thus, he would be taunted and ridiculed by his siblings in banquets and gatherings. Bei Cao Chuan was an expert at enduring silently. He restrained himself from making a move. His brothers had internal conflicts while he silently accumulated his strength. When the old Bei tribe leader was critically ill, he finally got the opportunity. The old Bei tribe leader was injured because of a backlash from a Gu worm and required a specific Gu to heal. However, the tribe found that this Gu was residing in a spirit rhino myriad beast king. The spirit rhino beast group had about 80,000 in numbers. The tribe could do nothing and gave up all hope. But Bei Cao Chuan infiltrated the beast group's dwelling by himself. After several days of observation, he discovered this spirit rhino myriad beast king would occasionally leave his group to roll and play in a mud swamp. After it played to its fill, it would sleep soundly. The mud was as smelly as dung and many maggots lived in it. Bei Cao Chuan buried himself in the mud for 7 days and 7 nights without moving. Hard work paid off. The spirit rhino myriad beast king finally came again to play. However, spirit rhino myriad beast king was huge, and when it rolled about, it stepped on Bei Cao Chuan's leg, crushing it immediately. Bei Cao Chuan silently endured the pain and did not even let out a groan. When the myriad beast king played to its fill and was sleeping soundly, he quietly stole that wild Gu worm from the myriad beast king's body. Bei Cao Chuan obtained the wild Gu worm, and he narrowly escaped this dangerous place, moving without stopping, hopping back to the tribe with his one leg and saved the old tribe leader. The whole tribe was in an uproar. Bei Cao Chuan's actions contained shocking filial piety, outstanding courage, and meticulous planning. causing the whole tribe to look at him in a new light. His siblings were also extremely surprised when he revealed his rank 3 peak stage cultivation. After the old tribe leader survived, he emotionally shed tears. The number of times I have cried in my life can be counted by my fingers. Today I am crying, not because I managed to escape from death's door, but because I have a son like this. As a father, I am moved by his filial piety, and as the tribe leader, I am happy for the future of my tribe. On the spot, Bei Cao Chuan was appointed as young tribe leader. Bei Cao Chuan did not conceal himself anymore. He started to deal with all the tribe affairs and fought for everyone's approval. On another hand, he suppressed his siblings and fortified his position, not giving any opportunity to his competitors. In the end, he became the tribe leader and made vigorous efforts to gradually expand Bei tribe. After repeatedly overcoming several difficulties, he had finally walked to this day. Although Bei Cao Chuan was only about 30 or so, he had established deep prestige within the tribe and was trusted by all the elders. Lord Supreme Elder, Lord Tribe Leader and Elders, we have already finished controlling Zheng Tribe Camp and have gained a lot of resources. The elder who was in charge of cleaning the battlefield reported excitedly. From our initial estimations, we have obtained at least 8 million primeval stones. We have obtained thousands of Gu worms with 100 rank 3 Gu among them. There is also a Gu house secret room which we are opening right now. Listening to such spoils of war, Zhe tribesmen had extreme joy in their face. The gains from Jing tribe was much more than from Bei tribe. Zheng tribe was a mid-sized tribe, but was a tribe with deep foundation. Even though there were much losses in the battle, the resources that were preserved were still enormous. Lord Supreme Elder, Lord Tribe Leader, what should be our next course of action? This elder asked after he finished reporting. All the Ji tribesmen looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan said expressionlessly, "Continue attacking our next target, Pei tribe." Chapter 482, Pei Yan Fei. The night wind whistled and the wolf group howled. Pei tribe and Aj tribe were fighting an intense battle around the walls. Flames, golden light, lightning, vines, all kinds of attacks converged to become a scene of brilliant fireworks, lifting the veil of the night. Kill, break the walls, then we can destroy the Pei tribe. Fight them, kill these Ji tribe thieves. The two sides roared with all their might to boost up their morale. Thick blood smell was lingering around the battlefield. Large numbers of cut limbs and bodies were everywhere. The normally respected Gu masters had lives as cheap as grass here. Of course, there were even more corpses of wolves. Seeing the turtleback myriad wolf king being repelled back again, Fang Yuan sighed to himself. Because they had charged through Bei and Zheng tribe one after another, information was inevitably leaked. When Fang Yuan led Ji tribesmen to attack Pei tribe, the other side had already made tight defensive preparations. After losing the Night Wolf Myriad Beast King, Fang Yuan only had 2 Myriad Wolf Kings left. Turtleback Myriad Wolf King and Wind Wolf Myriad Wolf King. Originally, the attacks from both kings would pose threat to Pei tribe's defensive formations. But because of one person, Fang Yuan could only send 1 Myriad Beast King to attack. This person was Pei tribe leader, Pei Yan Fei. He was the focus point of this battlefield, being in even more limelight than Fang Yuan's 2 Myriad Beast Kings. Pei Yan Fei was 8 feet tall with a stately appearance. His eyes were sharp and full of power, his back wide and his waist thin. Right now he was charging through the wolf group, sweeping everything in his path and revealing the demeanor of an unparalleled general. The characteristic that was the most focused on was his black eyebrows that shone with a dark luster. The eyebrows were thick in the middle and sharp in their 2 ends, with the tip raised slightly, like a swallow's wings. This was not a natural characteristic, but the imprint of 2 rank 4 swallow wings Gu. It was precisely because of this person rampaging around the battlefield with no one able to hold him down that Fang Yuan had to make 1 Myriad Wolf King stay for protection to defend against Pei Yan Fei's sudden attack. With this, only Turtleback Myriad Wolf King went to battle in the front line, causing the charge towards Pei tribe to decrease by a lot. One Ji tribe elder let out a bitter scream before death. Following his scream, his head flew to the air, cut by Pei Yan Fei. Another elder died under Pei Yanfei's hands. Gu tribesmen's eyes twitched at this scene. Pei Yanfei did not directly attack Fang Yuan, but instead rampaged in the wolf group and had already killed 3 G tribe's elders. With this way, he was not entangled by the myriad wolf king and had his hands free. He was also indirectly restricting Wind Wolf Myriad Wolf King from fighting. One could see his wisdom along with his bravery. Is there anyone else? Pei Yanfei used Swallow Wings Gu to fly in the air and shouted majestically. His voice suppressed the wolf howls and spread clearly to all parts of the battlefield. Tribe was silent while Pei Tribe's Gu Master's morale was greatly increased. Truly a fierce general, Fang Yuan lightly praised. Pei Yanfei possessed extremely strong flying techniques, being an expert in low-altitude flying. Although he was not at master level, he was not too far from it. He was a Metal Path Gu Master. His attacks were very sharp and ordinary Gu Masters would find it hard to block them, and he also possessed outstanding movement ability. He was moving all over the battlefield with a very fast speed, like a celestial horse going wherever it wanted. Usually those that were stronger than him did not have a movement ability like his, while those that could catch up to him did not have a battle strength that could match his. Several times Fang Yuan tried to mobilize Wind Wolf Myriad Beast King towards the front line, but Pei Yanfei would detour and charge towards him. Gu tribesmen were unable to block him, so Fang Yuan could only make Wind Wolf King return. This Wind Wolf Myriad Beast King was slightly stronger than Pei Yanfei, but it was a wild beast, after all, and did not have enough intelligence. Even if it was controlled by Fang Yuan, its flexibility could not match with Pei Yanfei. I have very few Myriad Beast Kings. It is getting so difficult just to deal with one Pei Yanfei. The wolf group's scale is also not big. A truly mature beast group would have at least 100,000 beasts. The current 3 enslavement masters of Northern Plains, Ma Zun, Yang Po Ying, and Zhang Baoya, have beast groups of hundreds of thousands of beasts. They even have a small group of mutated beasts as their trump card. Fang Yuan's mind was on expanding the beast group as he observed the battlefield. His beast group might have had taken shape, but its strength had clearly weakened after repeatedly fighting 3 battles. Most of all, the main battle strength was not powerful enough. The ones that truly decided the war in the Gu Master world were still the high-rank Gu Masters. Fang Yuan pondered while mobilizing 1,000 Wolf Kings and 100 Wolf Kings to lead the wolf group to form a wave of concentrated attack towards the Pei tribe camp. The wolves howled and charged forward aggressively like a tsunami, causing the Gu Masters on the walls to tense up and hurriedly mobilize everything. The attack this time is really fierce. Bring the reserve troops here quickly to defend. Earth Path Gu Masters, restore the walls fast. Hold on. We must hold on. Don't stint on your primeval essence. Large amount of flames shot down and exploded towards the wolf group. Golden spears and arrows flew like dense school of fish, striking down on the wolf group, causing massive casualties. Several elders joined hands and created 2-3 small-scale tornado that sent the wolves flying 50-60 feet high. The wolves fell to their death. Let's attack. Gu tribesmen also started their offense. Ghost Flame Gu. 2-3 bowls of eerie blue ghost fire smashed towards the wall, hitting a group of Gu Masters. The Gu Masters' whole bodies were covered with the chilly ghost fire. They let out the most tragic shouts. The ghost fire did not injure their body, but directly burned their souls. Such pain was extremely intense. Fist Stone Gu. An enormous stone that looked like a clenched fist whizzed through the sky, producing a rumbling sound like that of a lion or tiger. Then it heavily smashed on the wall. A deep crater immediately formed on the wall, and the cracks quickly spread towards all directions. The Gu Masters on the wall could not maintain their balance and fell down. Lightning Net Gu. A large net formed from lightning current flew towards the sky and fell down towards a part of the wall. The Gu Masters on that part of the wall were paralyzed by the lightning. Some stubbornly resisted with their defensive Gu, while some were scorched like coal dead. The fierce explosions caused huge numbers of casualties within a short period of time, and also quickly consumed the Gu Master's primeval essence. Thus, after a while, They had to stop. Pei tribes and Ji tribes Gu masters stopped attacking and retreated. Some directly sat down on their spot and grasped every second to recover their primeval essence. Now is the time. Fang Yuan's eyes brightened as he saw this while sitting on the white-eye wolf. When the two sides were gasping for breath, he made his move. Wolf smoke! Wolf smoke surged, covering the battlefield and quickly healing the wolf group's wounds and recovering their battle strength. Wolf howl Gu! Fang Yuan let out a long howl towards the sky, and after the mournful howl, the wolf group also roared, their battle strength raising rapidly. Another portion of wolf group rushed to the battlefield, joining with the remaining wolf group in the battlefield, forming a new wave of attack. This offensive was directed towards a specific part of the wall. This part was already on the verge of collapse after being smashed by the giant fist stone. Howl! The turtleback myriad wolf king also rushed forward. The Gu masters on the wall struggled to stand up and used all kinds of attacks, but turtleback myriad wolf king forcibly resisted the attack and smashed the wall into pieces. The wall collapsed. A hole appeared in the defensive line. Countless wolves rushed through the hole and started killing Pei tribe's Gu masters. Pei Yanfei immediately activated Swallow Wings Gu to quickly go back. Rank 4 Golden Coat Gu. His whole body shone with a golden light which then dimmed down and formed an armor. Rank 4 Swallow Wings Gu. Another pair of swallow wings grew out from his back, and with 2 pair of wings, his speed was doubled. Rank 4 Rainbow Transformation Gu. Clap, he put his 2 palms together and raised them above his head. His whole body like a straight pencil, then like a golden arrow, he made an arc through the air. With the activation of the Rainbow Transformation Gu, his 2 pairs of wings and his whole body gradually turned into a golden halo. 3 rank 4 Gu activated together to form into a killer move. Pei Yanfei's killer move, Golden Rainbow Strike. Like a rainbow, his whole body turned into a golden meteor, letting out dazzling light like a fragment of the sun, forcing people to narrow their eyes. Golden Rainbow carved out a stunning arc through the air before instantly striking turtleback myriad wolf king. Under Fang Yuan's control in the moment of imminent crisis, turtleback myriad wolf king turned its body and faced Pei Yanfei with its shell. The golden rainbow struck the turtleback, producing a huge sound and also giving off infinite golden light. For a moment, the Gu masters on the battlefield had no choice but to close their eyes, but even so, the dazzling light caused their eyes to tear up. The golden rays of light dimmed down, and the Gu masters slowly opened their blurred eyes. The turtleback myriad wolf king's shell was unexpectedly pierced through by Pei Yanfei, creating a hole from where one could see the right side of the wolf king from its left. The turtleback myriad wolf king let out a mournful howl. With such injuries, its battle strength had fallen to the bottom. Meanwhile, Pei Yanfei's expression paled as he hovered in the air. Many shocked sounds echoed at this moment. Ji tribe's Gu masters looked stifled, while Pei tribe's morale soared, shouting the might of their tribe leader. Lord Pei Yanfei has battled intensely for so long and now has used his killer move to injure myriad wolf king. His primeval essence should be exhausted. Now is the time to go in for the kill. Ji Guang excitedly shouted. Fang Yuan narrowed his eyes. Ji Guang was right. Pei Yanfei had battled for so long, he should not have much primeval essence left. Fang Yuan naturally knew this clearly, but with his 500 years of memories, Fang Yuan knew Pei Yanfei had a mysterious Gu called Do or Die Gu. This Gu was a rank 5 Gu that could provide the Gu master with large amounts of primeval essence instantly, but its after effect was a decrease in their cultivation stage. Of course, just this point was not enough for Fang Yuan to give up. But is there any bad news from our camp? Zheng tribe camp and Bei tribe camp? Fang Yuan asked. Ji Guang promptly replied, not yet. Fang Yuan immediately knew something was up and sneered before sending the command. Our tribe's battle strength has fallen, and Pei tribe has suffered even more casualties. We shall retreat. Chapter 483. Safely retreat. Wei Cao Chuan had been observing the development of the battle situation. Beside him, there were 11 Gu masters. Other than the Bei tribe elders, there were also several Zheng tribe elders. They are all summoned by Wei Cao Chuan. Their only motive was to kill Xianxia, to reverse the outcome of this battle. G tribe is nothing but scattered sand. We do not have to worry about them. The only problem is Wolf King Xianxia. As long as we kill him, victory is ours. We can still win. Bei Caochuan's eyes shone brilliantly as he observed the battle while raising the morale of the people around him. Zheng tribe elders were all convinced by him. Bei tribe leader is right, but when do we attack? Bei Caochuan squinted his eyes. We have to wait. Wolf King is very vigilant. He only sent the turtleback Myriad Wolf King to lead the attack, while the Wind Wolf Myriad Beast King was always near him. He has ample defensive forces around him. Although we are strong, there is only one chance for us to attack him. Once we fail, we can only force our way through. By then, we would be in a hopeless situation. Being surrounded by the wolf group, there will be little chance of killing Xianxia. At this moment, the most intense clash happened on the battlefield. All sorts of attacks, in all shapes and colors, filled the battlefield. The loud sound of explosions occurred continually. Seeing this, everyone's hearts shuddered. In such a battlefield, even a rank 3 Gu Master was cannon fodder. Only rank 4 or 5 Gu Masters were the main force. Lord, now is the best time to attack, an elder suggested. No hurry. Bei Caochuan waved his hand. After the attack persisted and eventually ended, an elder could not stand it anymore. Lord Tribe Leader, now is the time. While G Tribe Gu Masters are recovering their primeval essence, we can charge in and catch them unguarded. No, our target is only Xianxia. Although they had an intense battle, the number of wolves near Xianxia had increased in numbers instead. Bei Caochuan rejected solemnly. Next, Fang Yuan struck and made good use of his timing to destroy a portion of the defensive wall. This was a crucial development. Bei Tribe's defenses were finally broken. Large number of wolves charged in as the turtleback Myriad Wolf King also arrived. This is bad. Once the defensive line is broken, the wolf group would carry out a full frontal assault. Bei Tribe would not be able to handle it. This is an emergency. Lord, we have to attack. If not, Bei Tribe is finished. If we strike now, we can still salvage this situation. No. Bei Caochuan stood up. His eyes were flashing as he was filled with joy. The long-awaited chance had arrived. As long as Bei Tribe's defenses were broken, Xianxia would need to mobilize the wolf group and attack Bei Tribe camp. This way, his defenses would be greatly weakened. It would give Bei Caochuan a good chance to kill him. If we strike now, it would only alert Xianxia, and he would recall his wolves, causing the battle to turn into a stalemate again. After we expose ourselves, we would lose the precious chance to kill him. Our 3 tribes are allied. Why was Bei Tribe's losses so much less than ours? The Wolf King is so vigilant, he is not easy to deal with. Only with Bei Tribe as the bait, allowing him to taste the sweetness of victory, can we kill him at the moment when he lets his guard down. In an instant, Bei Caochuan's brain worked intensely as he had several thoughts. But he could not say that out loud. Instead, he said, "Wait a bit longer. We cannot be anxious. Believe in Bei Yanfei. He is a famous general in Northern Plains. Do you think he is so weak?" The rank 3 Gu Masters heard this and stopped their charging momentum. Bei Caochuan had just said that when Bei Yanfei unleashed his killer move, Golden Rainbow Strike, the intense explosion forced everyone to raise their arms to shield their eyes from the bright light. After the light dispersed, Turtleback Myriad Wolf King suffered heavy injuries, while Bei Yanfei floated above the rubbles of the defensive wall. His expression was pale, so strong. With just one strike, he heavily injured the Myriad Beast King. This is Bei Yanfei's famous killer move. It is truly formidable. Bei Tribe Leader is amazing. He understood the battlefield so well. I have learnt much. The elders expressed their amazement at Bei Yanfei's battle strength, while praising Bei Caochuan's judgment. Bei Caochuan's lips twitched. He would rather see Bei Yanfei fail in guarding his camp. There is still hope. We have to wait a bit longer. Bei Yanfei definitely used up a lot of his primeval essence for such a strong move. Looking at his expression, he must be at his wit's end. As long as Wind Wolf King is near Xianxia, he is near invincible. Bei Tribe still had the lower hand. If the wolf group attacks Bei Tribe camp again, I will continue my plan from earlier. If Pei Yanfei has the advantage, I will make use of the opportunity and cooperate with him, dealing the fatal blow to Chang Shanyin. Sparks were flying in Bei Chao Chuan's head. He blinked as he modified his plan. I have a chance. There is still hope. I cannot fluster at this moment. I have to calm down and endure. As long as we kill Chang Shanyin, not only will we turn this around, I will also gain fame. After I become Lu Wenwu's subordinate, I can gain important roles and fight for more opportunities for my tribe. Bei Cao Chuan cheered for himself in his heart. But at this moment, his pupils shrunk as he swore, "Oh my God, what the fight!" The elders sent him a peculiar gaze. All along, even though the battle was tense, Bei Cao Chuan was extremely confident and had the situation in his grasp. Why was he losing his nerves now? Bei Cao Chuan could not care less about the gazes. He stared at the battlefield as he spoke out uncontrollably. Why is this Chang Shanyin retreating now of all times? The Wolf King was in an advantageous situation. Although the turtleback myriad Wolf King was heavily injured, it was not dead. He still had another Wind Wolf, myriad Beast King. In contrast, Pei Yanfei was at his wit's end. Most importantly, Pei Tribe Camp's defenses were broken. As long as he attacked following this weakness, Pei Tribe's pressure in defending would be many times of before. Most likely, they would not able to hold on. Once the wolf group invades Pei Tribe Camp, Bei Cao Chuan would have the chance to attack, dealing Wolf King the fatal blow from behind. But now he was retreating. Why was Chang Shanyin retreating? Bei Cao Chuan had no time to think about this already. He was extremely nervous now. His confident face started to show some anxiety. Wolf King still had much strength. Now, once he retreated, the assault that he had painstakingly waited for would be ruined. The worst thing was Bei Tribe Camp and Zheng Tribe Camp were in Ji Tribe's control. Once the wolves retreated, they would bring all these captives and resources away. Bei Cao Chuan would lose his tribe completely. Without even a tribe, only left with several elders, Bei Cao Chuan's tribe leader status would become the biggest laughingstock. Just look at the current situation. Once he goes to Lu Wenwu, he would definitely not receive an important position. No, I cannot let Chang Shanyin retreat so easily. Once he leaves, we have no hopes of succeeding. Bei Cao Chuan screamed in his heart. He stood up abruptly shouting, "Everyone, we cannot wait any longer. Chang Shanyin is out of steam. They are trying to retreat. Now is the time we attack and kill the Wolf King. Everyone, it is time to take back our tribe." The elders near him could see the battle situation too. Bei Cao Chuan's words made them energized as their battle intent surged. "Kill Chang Shanyin. Don't think of leaving. Wolf King, fight me one-on-one if you have the guts." A group of rank 3 Gu masters left their hiding spot and started attacking Ji Tribe's army from the back under Bei Cao Chuan's lead. They appeared as expected. Fang Yuan foresaw this. He did not fluster upon seeing these people. He understood clearly. Bei Cao Chuan and gang did not go back to reinforce their tribes. Thus, there were only two possibilities. One was that they were attacking Ji Tribe's main camp to exact revenge. The other was that they were reinforcing Pei Tribe. Since the 3 tribes and their camps were intact, these people were definitely hiding nearby. If Fang Yuan continued attacking Pei Tribe camp and fought with Pei Yanfei with all his strength, during the crucial moment, he would definitely face an assassination. Thus, retreating was the wisest choice. But these people were really good at waiting. They appeared now after I forced them. It seems they have deep motives. Fang Yuan rode on the white-eyed wolf as he thought calmly. Ji tribesmen were anxious. Bei Cao Chuan and the other 11 people were experts. They were unstoppable in their attack. It brought a huge mental pressure to the Ji tribesmen. "Lord Supreme Elder, what do we do?" Ji Guang asked. "Why are you panicking? Listen to my command and retreat." Fang Yuan laughed coldly. Retreating in the battlefield was extremely risky. Often, when retreating, enemies would chase after them and cause them to fail in getting away. In his previous life, Fang Yuan had participated in many battles. He knew that these wolves were good for covering them when retreating. He had the ability to face pressure from 2 sides and escape. He moved the turtleback myriad Wolf King near him and recalled his wolf group. making the 100 wolf kings, 1,000 wolf kings gather towards the center of the army. As for those ordinary wild wolves, they were left behind to expend the enemy's primeval essence. As expected, after a moment, Beicao Chuan and gang lost their momentum, starting to use the primeval essence in their apertures sparingly. Damn it. Do we just watch Xianxia retreat like this? Beicao Chuan bit his lips. His eyes had turned red from killing. He was extremely indignant in his heart. Pei Yanfei, why are you not attacking? If we cannot take the Wolf King's life today, how will we have the face to participate in the heroes' assembly? Beicao Chuan screamed. Pei Yanfei snorted. He was not a brute. He knew that Beicao Chuan's sudden assault was after he threw Pei Tribe under the bus. He wanted to use them as bait. But Wolf King Xianxia could not be let off. During this battle, Ji Tribe fought 3 tribes at one go. If they retreated successfully, they would shoot to fame, and these 3 tribes would become their stepping stones. Moreover, Pei Tribe suffered huge losses. How could he not take revenge for such deep hatred? Thinking of this, Pei Yanfei resolved himself. Rank 5 do-or-die Gu. Swish, swish, swish. Pei Yanfei's heart felt hollow as large amounts of primeval essence appeared from thin air, filling up his dry aperture. Xianxia, hand over your life, he howled, rushing over. The tribesmen were flustered. Fang Yuan laughed, asking around, "Who is this?" Zhu Guang admired Fang Yuan's calmness, and the anxiety in his heart vanished, answering solemnly, "Bei tribe leader Beicao Chuan." Beicao Chuan, Pei Yanfei. Heroes emerge in chaotic times. Very good, very good. Fang Yuan praised them loudly as his voice resounded in the air. Next, he jumped down from the White Eyes Wolf, changing his steed to a hump wolf. White Eyes Wolf took a few quick steps, standing together with Wind Wolf, Myriad Beast King, and Turtleback Myriad Wolf King. That is, Beicao Chuan's momentum froze, his pupils shrunk. Pei Yanfei's expression was grim. He was extremely bitter. White Eyes Wolf was a mutated beast with strength equaling a Myriad Beast King. Earlier, they were too focused on Fang Yuan, thus ignoring his White Eyes Wolf. Now that the White Eyes Wolf stood out, its identity was immediately exposed. Damn it. Pei Yanfei gritted his teeth, stopping his attack helplessly. If Fang Yuan only had the Wind Wolf Myriad Beast King left, that would be fine. But with a White Eyes Wolf, he had enough strength to resist their attacks and even fight back. Pei Yanfei did not dare to take the risk and place Pei Tribe in danger again. He chose to give up. On the other end, Beicao Chuan had no choice but to stop his steps. He looked at the army retreating. He not only felt dejection in his heart, but also a strong chill. Wolf King Xianxia, just how many trump cards do you have? If only he knew. Chapter 484, Influence. The noisy night winds gradually stopped. Thick mist started to form near the wild grass on the ground. G-Tribe army retreated along Crescent Lake, moving slowly. Having successfully retreated, these people still had battle intent left in them. Even though they did not take down Pei Tribe in the end, they had made a name for themselves in this battle. G-Tribesmen were excitedly talking about it. This battle was amazing. That dog-shit 3-tribe alliance, they dared to find trouble with us, G-Tribe. They were simply courting death. What Zheng Tribe, Bei Tribe, or Pei Tribe, they were merely so. Now, Bei Tribe and Zheng Tribe camps have been taken down by us, and Pei Tribe suffered huge losses. After this battle tonight, G-Tribe is going to become famous throughout Northern Plains. Using the strength of 1 tribe to challenge 3, such an accomplishment and bravery made the G-Tribe Gu masters feel proud and confident of themselves. It was all thanks to Lord Wolf King Xianxia, a Gu master exclaimed. The words immediately caused a huge commotion.
That is right.
If not for the wolves charging ahead and paving the way for us, we would definitely suffer great losses and face many casualties. This is the power of an enslavement path Gu master. No wonder so many tribes want to nurture 1 or 2 enslavement path Gu masters even if they had to curb their spending. Lord Wolf King is our tribe's supreme elder. We are one family. It is really our honor to have Lord Wolf King by our side. After this battle, Fang Yuan's prestige in Ji tribe rose to an absurd level. Fang Yuan rode the White Eyes Wolf again as Ji tribe leader, and the band of elders accompanied him. As the supreme elder, Fang Yuan had the authority to forcefully remove the tribe leader Zhiguang. Of course, Zhiguang was an obedient chess piece. Fang Yuan had no intention to remove him. The Grand Army first returned to Zheng tribe camp. The Gu masters left behind had already gathered the resources and placed them on the 30 blue farm slug transportation troops. These slugs were known as mucus Gu worms. They were like snails without shells. They were rank 3 with a body larger than elephants. They were blue and had blue water crystals growing on their bodies. These blue farm slug Gu were easy to use. They expended little primeval essence, and Gu masters only needed to stuff the items into their bodies. Blue farm slug Gu did not have any attacking capabilities. After swallowing the items, their bodies would expand. These 30 blue farm slug Gu were now 5 times their original size. Even a myriad beast king was not half of their size. But even so, there was still a small portion of the resources in Zheng tribe that could not be carried and could only be left behind in the camp. The elder that stayed behind handed over the list of gains after calculation. Fang Yuan browsed through it. The profits were huge. We are rich. Zhiguang saw this and was elated. This is a huge fortune, and we obtained so many captives as well. Our Ji tribe can quickly become a large-sized tribe. We have to be alert these few days. We have to strengthen our defenses and prevent the surrounding tribes from eyeing our goods. But what do we do with the Gu masters who surrendered? According to the norm, they will become slave Gu masters. But we do not have so many slavery Gu. Ji tribesmen started to feel a headache. Ji tribe was only a middle-sized tribe. They had a weak foundation. If they were a large tribe, they would be able to better digest these gains. They left behind a group of people to defend the place and instructed them to retreat if Pei tribe's army came over to preserve their strength. Ji tribe's army brought the 30 blue farm slug Gu and large numbers of captives and continued on their journey. When they reached Pei tribe camp, the troops stopped. When they set off again, the size of the group had expanded by several times again. When they finally reached their Ji tribe camp, the returning warriors received a warm welcome from all the Ji tribesmen. The cheers were extremely loud as the first rays of dawn shone on their faces. In contrast, those captives were all either numb or in despair. It was like the two sides lived in different worlds. Fang Yuan lightly let out a breath of turbid air. On the way back, he was afraid of Pei tribe's assault. It seems that Pei Yanfei was concerned with his tribe's safety and wanted to preserve his forces. Thus, he did not attack. Otherwise, we will face much greater obstacles on the way. Of course, the main reason for this was because I showed them the White Eyes Wolf, displaying a facade that it had the strength of a myriad beast king. But the truth was, Fang Yuan's White Eyes Wolf had grown because of Third Watch Gu. There was not a single wild Gu worm on it. This was the world of Gu. Without a single wild Gu, White Eyes Wolf could not even defeat 1,000 Beast King. If they really fought, White Eyes Wolf was only a giant wild wolf. But if Pai Yanfei and Bei Chao Chuan were not deterred and continued attacking, Fang Yuan would be in trouble. He had already exerted 120% of his wolf group's strength in terms of strength path. He had just started, having only 30 June of strength. In terms of soul, he had not reached 1,000-man soul yet. My current strength is still too weak. After 3 battles in one night, I can vividly feel all my weaknesses. Now that they were safe, Fang Yuan looked at the wolf group. The 60,000 wolf group had suffered great losses, only less than half survived. But his greatest loss was his myriad beast kings. Fang Yuan had 3 myriad beast kings, but after this battle, Night Wolf Myriad Beast King died in battle, and Turtleback Myriad Wolf King suffered heavy injuries. Although it has started receiving treatment, it was still unconscious. Wind Wolf Myriad Beast King was full of injuries. It had lost a lot of the Gu worms on it, and its battle strength fell greatly. But Fang Yuan felt no regrets. Compared to his gains, these losses were nothing. Not to say his immense loot from the 2 camps. Fang Yuan had achieved all his goals from this battle. Taking the initiative to attack and fighting 3 tribes alone, the name of Wolf King Xianxia would spread in northern plains again, becoming a widely known topic. This was a testament to Fang Yuan's strength. It would be a great help to his future plans of participating in the Heroes' Assembly and dealing with Tai Bai Yun Sheng. Furthermore, these dead wolves served a greater purpose. Their souls were kept by Fang Yuan and were used to fertilize Danghun Mountain. After this battle, I have created a name for myself, as well as displaying my ferocity. I'm sure this will deter the nearby forces. With this, G tribe can recuperate and regroup, while I can also take some time to expand my wolf group and cultivate my wolfman's soul at the same time, preparing my rank 5 enslavement path, Gu worms. Lying on his bed, Fang Yuan's thoughts spanned out and slowly faded. Outside the Gu house, the cheers were getting louder as the G tribesmen celebrated like no tomorrow. Fang Yuan gradually closed his eyes. He felt tired. 3 battles in one night, controlling so many wolves to participate in intense battle. It expended his mental energy. A form of fatigue originating from his soul spread throughout his body. Just when he was sleeping soundly, a great commotion had expanded all over Crescent Lake. In the morning, almost every tribe leader nearby or their strategist received the information regarding this battle. There were suspicious people, threatened people, fearful people, or furious people. But regardless of their feelings, at once, G tribe and Wolf King Xianxia became the hottest topic of every tribe. I thought he was just a cat, but he turned out to be a leopard. Wang tribe leader was staring intently at the paper describing this battle. After a long while, he sighed as he was filled with lamentation. He wanted to watch from the sidelines. If the situation permitted it, he would reap some rewards from this conflict. But to think that GE tribe challenged 3 tribes in one night under Fang Yuan's lead, dealing a huge blow to Pei tribe. Bei tribe leader, Bei Cao Chuan, became a vagabond, and Pei Yan Fei, a fierce general in northern plains, lost a small realm of his cultivation. He is simply too daring and ferocious. He is overly ruthless. Even Wang tribe leader's strategist, Wang Dao, looked at this information and exclaimed as his expression changed. G tribe attacked without warning, striking first and catching the 3 tribes unguarded. 2 were destroyed while 1 was half ruined. This is overstepping the line. They broke our unspoken rule. Aren't they afraid of being blamed by all of us? Wang Dao said furiously. G tribe's rampant invasion made him feel uneasy. At this time, the Gu master outside brought in another letter. This was a letter from G tribe. It was sent to all the forces near Crescent Lake. The letter was written by Ji Guang personally. It detailed how the 3 tribes had ill intentions. In order for G tribe to defend itself, they had to retaliate. The letter talked about Yan tribe and all the reasons and justifications they had, including Xianxia's grudges from many years ago. The truth is, back then, Xianxia was a victim. This was why he had to face Hatu Gu and the bandits alone. Now that he is back, he wants to exact revenge on his tribe. Meanwhile, Chang tribe was already part of young master Lu Wenwu's forces. Yan tribe was Lu Wenwu's family-in-law, but they did not know about his grudges and asked Xianxia for help. This is how everything started. Wang Dao looked at this letter and his expression was uncertain. He became more furious. Xianxia is involving the innocent with his personal grudges. What kind of Northern Plains hero is this? Wang tribe leader was calm. He got to the point immediately, but this way, G tribe has a reason to attack. Although this reason is so forced, they can at least cover themselves with a proper explanation. G tribe has Xianxia's protection. After defeating 3 tribes, their strength would definitely increase and they would expand. There is little hope of the other tribes gathering to deal with Xianxia after seeing the sorry states of these 3 tribes. Wang Dao nodded. Then what do we do next? Wolf King's actions were too quick. Now that it had already happened, we cannot interfere anymore. Hi, I underestimated the Wolf King. Wang tribe leader sighed. At this time, someone outside informed him that Bei tribe leader, Bei Cao Chuan, has brought his band of elders to meet Wang tribe leader. Bei Cao Chuan, why is he here? Wang tribe leader frowned. Wang Dao reminded him. Lord tribe leader, did you forget Bei tribe had sent an elder to invite us to join his alliance earlier? That elder is still staying with us. Wang tribe leader patted his forehead. Oh, I nearly forgot. I said I would host him for 3 days. Today is the 3rd day. No way. I should not meet this Bei Chao Chuan. Go and meet him. Tell him I have an important gu to refine today. I cannot leave my closed cultivation. Bei Cao Sheng had been well treated by Wang tribe these few days, but he did not forget his mission. During this time, he had requested to meet with Wang tribe leader several times but was rejected. Seeing Bei Cao Xuan, he was very surprised. Lord tribe leader and all the other elders, why are you here personally? Before he got a reply, Bei Cao Sheng said with an expression of guilt, Everyone, I have disappointed you. That Wang tribe leader keeps rejecting my offer, not agreeing to join the alliance. But no worry, with the strength of our 3 tribes, we can easily deal with Ghe tribe. Bei tribe elders heard this and some of their eyebrows trembled, while the others' expressions turned grim. Bei Cao Chuan felt bitter in his heart. At once, he did not know what to say or how to explain the situation to this elder. Chapter 485, Plotting Against the Land Spirit. 8 days later, at night. The stars shone in the sky as the night winds blew. Fang Yuan rode on the white-eyed wolf's back, ready to move out. Zhiguang stood by his side, reporting the situation of the last few days. During these last 8 days, large numbers of small to mid-sized tribes have started on their journey to attend the Heroes' Assembly. Right now, only several large-sized tribes are left in Crescent Lake. Bei Cao Chuan, Pei Yan Fei, and the others were the first to leave. Fang Yuan adjusted his posture. Earlier, when we took the initiative to challenge the 3 tribes, it made many tribes apprehensive. Since the Heroes' Assembly was nearing, it is normal that they decided to leave. But for those large tribes, they have a lot of stuff to settle due to their many enterprises. Thus, they usually attend the second half of the Heroes' Assembly. Supreme Elder is wise. That is indeed so. Zhiguang started bootlicking. Fang Yuan chuckled. Crescent Lake's aquatic plants are beautiful. We will stay here for the time being. We should be internalizing our gains from the battles now instead of traveling. Yes, Lord. Zhiguang heaved a sigh of relief. They had such intentions in their earlier discussions. The tribe was now like a fat man who had eaten too much. They could not walk. These 8 days, they had been expanding the campgrounds day and night, recruiting those captives. After calculating their resources, the strength of the tribe was growing day by day. Those water wolves, are they still there? Fang Yuan asked. Yes, I sent investigative gu masters there many times to check them out. These water wolves amount to about 5,000 at night. They will enter that water den to rest. Lord, do you really not need guards? Fang Yuan snorted, replying arrogantly. Any place with wolves will have me Chang Shan Yin. Why would I need guards? Zhiguang could hear his unhappiness. Thus he quickly bowed and gave way. I wish Lord Supreme Elder all the best in your recruitment of the water wolves. You will have to be careful of the matters in the tribe. Without me around, you have to take note of those gu masters who surrendered. Yes, Lord. Fang Yuan left behind the Wind Wolf King, bringing the weakened Turtleback Myriad Wolf King and 18,000 wolves, leaving the campsite and starting on their hunt. He first followed the map that G tribe investigators had drawn, getting close to the water den. Water wolves lived in the water. They ate fish as food. Often when they were hungry, they would also come ashore to eat some rabbits or rats. With the arrival of the wolf group, these water wolves were immediately alerted. To defend their homes, the water wolves formed into a tight formation as they left the water den, staring at Fang Yuan vigilantly. Fang Yuan expressionlessly sat on his white-eyed wolf's back. He waved with his hand and countless wild wolves howled as they attacked the water wolves. The water wolves resisted as the two sides engaged in fierce combat. Wolf Howl Gu, Wolf Smoke Gu. Fang Yuan made his move from the back several times, firming grasping control of the battle in his hands. His wolf group was larger to begin with. Soon they started killing water wolves. More than 1,000 water wolf corpses were left on the ground, as Fang Yuan used wolf enslavement Gu to subdue more than 2,000 of them. The remaining 1,000 escaped to the deep parts of Crescent Lake. Fang Yuan did not chase them. Instead, he destroyed this water den and obtained several hundred water wolf cubs. Next, he went to the next location. After destroying several wolf dens by nighttime, Fang Yuan subdued over 6,000 water wolves, 2,000 turtleback wolves, and 1,000 night wolves. Crescent Lake had the most water wolves, but there were also some turtleback wolves, night wolves, and wind wolves. But the wind wolves were too fast, they were hard to catch. They often retreated at the slightest danger. Fang Yuan targeted a pack of wind wolves, but they escaped quickly amidst battle. Wolf groups were very crafty. In order to capture them, Fang Yuan had to pay a price as well. If the cost was too high and was greater than the benefits, he would give up on them. Some large water wolf groups had myriad wolf kings. Fang Yuan did not dare to attack them abruptly. But this time, his expedition of hunting wolves was only a cover. Now that he had acted enough, he searched for a secluded spot and surrounded himself with wolves. Next, he activated Moving Perspective Cup Gu and contacted Little Hu Immortal. Little Hu Immortal got the news and immediately summoned a group of Starlight Firefly Gu, using the Starlight and Green Grape Immortal Essence to activate Stargate Gu. Stargate Gu came in pairs using the power of Black Heaven. They could traverse regions. Fang Yuan waited for a while, seeing the starlight in the night sky descending and gathering on his Stargate Gu. The Stargate Gu was like a blue gemstone as it flew towards the sky. When it reached mid-air, the starlight exploded as a door was formed. This time, Fang Yuan did not enter the Stargate anxiously. Instead, he sent the weak and heavily injured turtleback Myriad Wolf King in first, as well as large numbers of injured wolves. The large number of wolves entered the Stargate like flowing river water, disappearing. This way, Fang Yuan only had strong and elite wolves left with him. This greatly reduced his pressure of feeding them. As for those injured wolves, they would reproduce and grow in the Blessed Land, giving birth to healthy cubs. As time in Hu Immortal Blessed Land was faster, they would grow quickly and become Fang Yuan's new source of wolves. After sending these wolves into Hu Immortal Blessed Land, Fang Yuan also entered the door. Master, you asked me to check on connecting Heaven Gu daily. I was very obedient and did as you said. That Xianxia Old Immortal really appeared again and bought lots of materials in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Little Hu Immortal was very happy upon seeing Fang Yuan hugging his leg as she used her face to rub it, talking about the things that happened while Fang Yuan was gone. Oh, is that so? What did he buy? Fang Yuan heard this and was energized, quickly asking. Little Hu Immortal took out a piece of paper from her pocket and handed it to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan looked and browsed through it. These Gu worms and materials were very familiar. They were used to refine second aperture Gu. What did this mean? Xianxia Old Immortal was Xianxia Land Spirit. He was going to refine second aperture Gu. Thus, he definitely survived the second wave of attacks and had the urge to refine second aperture Gu. At the same time, that divine travel Gu was definitely in his hands. Otherwise, why would he purchase ingredients so urgently right after the second wave of attacks? Xianxia Land Spirit was plotted against by Old Man Xianxia. He should be defending Xianxia Blessed Land now. Although this land spirit is intelligent, he is rigid and does not possess the ability to scheme. What am I waiting for? Fang Yuan thought of this and his heart was palpitating. He immediately left Hu Immortal Blessed Land, returning to Northern Plains Crescent Lake. Next, he led the wolf group as he charged to that stone forest without rest. Using Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's entry point again, he entered Xianxia Blessed Land. There were many new changes to Xianxia Blessed Land. The 12 cloud buildings were attacked. There were much rubble and broken structures, scars from burning flames, lightning strikes, or results of frost. These were traces of a huge battle. Especially outside the buildings, on the pure white cloud soil, they were tainted with blood traces. A deer-like desolate beast with the size of a mountain was lying on the cloud soil, dead. Even though it lost its life, the skin was still shiny and smooth, glowing with a rainbow-like luster. It gave off a holy feeling. Why are you here? Xianxia Land Spirit welcomed Fang Yuan grumpily. What happened? Fang Yuan did not answer him. Instead, he asked and expressed his shock. A bunch of daring scoundrels. They set their claws on this blessed land. They have all been killed. Xianxia Land Spirit's expression was grim as his killing intent surged. Fang Yuan curiously looked at the land spirit. Isn't Xianxia blessed land very secretive? How did they get in? Unless you open the doors yourself. Get lost. Am I so stupid? The land spirit howled. These goddamn scoundrels plotted against me. They did something to the stuff I bought. I originally bought Divine Travel Gu to refine Second Aperture Gu, but during the refinement process, a passage formed and these little rats came in. The land spirit called them rats, but as Fang Yuan looked at the state of the 12 cloud buildings, he could guess the intensity of the battle. But Xianxia Blessed Land was, after all, long hair ancestors' old home. As the #1 refinement immortal of all time, someone who was on equal status with 2 venerables, he definitely had deep foundations and many trump cards. The second wave of attacks could not take down this deep foundation so easily. At least, Fang Yuan knew there were 12 desolate beasts in Xianxia Blessed Land. Now only 1 had died. However, old man Yan Shi was still alive. The second wave of attacks was not the last, but the beginning. The show has just begun. Fang Yuan laughed. I guessed right. You are that Xianxia old immortal. You bought Divine Travel Gu in Treasure Yellow Heaven. It seems you managed to protect Divine Travel Gu. Xianxia Land Spirit laughed smugly. Of course. Otherwise, that 9-color spirit deer would not have died. Suddenly, his expression changed as he thought of something, staring vigilantly at Fang Yuan. Why are you here, lad? Fang Yuan bowed to the land spirit, replying as a matter of fact. What else? I'm obviously here to ask you to refine the Second Aperture Gu for me. What? Land spirit shouted, staring at Fang Yuan furiously, his eyes about to spew fire. Long hair, ancestor had failed to refine an important immortal Gu for thieving heaven demon venerable back then. Thus, he made a promise to refine 9 Gu worms for him without any costs, regardless of mortal or immortal Gu. Thieving heaven demon venerable used 6 chances to receive 6 immortal Gu. With 3 chances left, he sealed it into his inheritances to leave it to a fated person. In Fang Yuan's previous life, this chance was taken by Ma Hongyun. But now, Fang Yuan came here earlier and snatched this immortal opportunity. Earlier, he had used one of the chances to ask Xianxia Land Spirit to refine Stargate Gu. Now that he was here again, he was going to use the second chance to refine Second Aperture Gu. Xianxia Land Spirit was formed from long-hair ancestors' obsessions. He could not reject such a request. But in order to protect Divine Travel Gu, he had paid a huge choice. Seeing that the Second Aperture Gu was about to be successfully refined, the result was that Fang Yuan came to take it from him. Xianxia Land Spirit was furious as he stared angrily, using a grim tone to ask Fang Yuan, "Don't tell me you are the mastermind who planned the attack on my blessed land." Fang Yuan rubbed his nose, saying innocently, "Do you think that I, immortal, could mobilize those Gu immortals? I only knew you had the Second Aperture Gu's recipe after you bought Divine Travel Gu, and now that you bought a second set of materials, I came over." Xianxia Blessed Land gritted his teeth angrily, pointing at Fang Yuan. "You humans are all devious and scheming. I killed those Gu immortal, but to think that it was all for naught. I still ended up being scammed by you, this little lad." Fang Yuan laughed heartily. "This is not a scam, but a promise that you gave thieving heaven demon venerable back then. So are you going to refine the Second Aperture Gu for me now?" Land Spirit was angry and wanted to chop Fang Yuan into 1,000,000 pieces, but he had no choice but to refine the Gu for him. Chapter 486-2 Immortal Gu obtained. I want to see you refine the Gu personally. Fang Yuan had a thought as he asked the question to probe the Land Spirit. The refinement process of Gu Masters were secretive. If someone saw them, the recipe might leak out, or even expose the Gu Master's unique methods. Of course, this was one of the agreements. Xianxia Land Spirit agreed immediately, out of Fang Yuan's expectations. Fang Yuan raised his brows, having a slight understanding. Back then, when long-hair ancestor failed in refining Space Escape Gu, he wasted all of the materials that Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had collected for his entire life. Among the many Gu materials were extremely rare, and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable only managed to get them out of pure luck. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was a rank 9 Demon Venerable to repay his losses as well as saving his reputation. long-hair ancestor agreed to refine Gu for him, allowing Thieving Heaven Demon, venerable to view the entire refinement process, was not only to expose the recipe to pay back the demon venerable, it also proved his innocence. You saw the whole process. If the refinement fails, it has nothing to do with me. But now, right, there were no such concerns left. Land spirits were formed from the blessed land's heavenly power, the obsessions of the Gu immortals before death. They did not have vile thoughts, they were candid and straightforward. However, Xianxia land's spirit was formed from the number one refinement immortal, long-hair ancestor. Even though he lost most of his memories, he retained most of long-hair ancestor's refinement talent and attainments. Observing the land spirit refining Gu was a huge benefit to Fang Yuan. I had refined second aperture Gu before. This time I will observe the land spirit's techniques and gain some experience to improve myself. Maybe I would get to see a trace of long-hair ancestor's glamour back in ancient times. Fang Yuan was looking forward to this Gu refinement. Xianxia land spirit waved his hand and teleported him to a huge hall. This hall was really big. The diameter of it was at least 10 li. There were all sorts of equipment. There were green copper cauldrons, red steel furnaces, rainbow water tanks, and even cave houses. When Gu masters refine Gu, they need the help of their equipment as well. The equipment in this hall was like a comprehensive exhibition. It was a huge eye-opener to Fang Yuan. Although he had 500 years of experience due to rebirth, he spent about 300 years wandering and fighting his way up to the top. He only managed to hold his own and freely roam the world to achieve his grand aspirations in his last 200 years. During that period, although he explored many other Gu paths, he had to resist the earthly calamities as well as manage his forces, all while gathering his immortal Gu refinement materials. He was very busy and overwhelmed. Although his foundation in refinement path could surpass the mortal realm among Gu immortals, he was only second or third rate. There was no comparison to a legend like Long-Hair Ancestor. This is my Earth-grade Room C Gu Refinement Hall. Xianxia land spirit introduced as Fang Yuan's expression changed upon hearing it. The land spirit would not lie. Such a grand hall was only one of the many Gu refinement halls in Xianxia blessed land. Earth-grade Room C. How many of such halls did this blessed land have? At this moment, the land spirit waved. At an instant, a few thousand hairy men appeared in the hall. These hairy men were teleported over with a stunned expression, but they soon kneeled on the ground, shouting. The hairy men greets Xianxia Old Immortal. They spoke at the same time as their voices echoed in the hall. Xianxia land spirit's face showed some affection as he said, "Children, you may get up." He then waved his hand and sent the Gu refinement materials over to them. Today, we are refining an immortal Gu. Use the Gu recipe that I gave you to do it. The hairy men were obviously experienced in such matters. Upon hearing that they were refining an immortal Gu, the hairy men were stirred as they showed an excited expression. But immediately after, they calmed down and started researching the recipe in their hands before starting the Gu refinement. Several thousand hairy men refining Gu at once. This was not the first time Fang Yuan had seen this. Among the variant men, hairy men were most skilled at refining Gu. They were born with the talent for it. According to the records in less than back in the immemorial era, the hairy men started to refine Gu, even tying up Ren Zhu's first son, Verdant Great Son, attempting to use him to refine eternal Gu. Hairy men refined Gu using their talent and inspiration. They worked casually and did not have the trace of tool work left by human Gu masters. At Gu Immortal stage, having already surpassed mortals, to aid them in refining Gu, they would raise a number of hairy men. In Fang Yuan's previous life, he had kept some of them in his blessed land as well. But that was Blood Sea blessed land. The environment was harsh, and many batches of hairy men died, causing his interest in raising them to disappear. After Fang Yuan became a Gu Immortal, he had gathered a large number of hairy men to refine Gu in bulk for his demonic sect. Precisely because of his own experiences, he could tell that the hairy men here were not ordinary. These hairy men were simply too well raised. Look at their hair and skin. They were clear and shiny, their eyes had spirit, and their faces were energetic. It showed that they lived in a good environment and had never been tortured by Xianxia land spirit. Most importantly, these hairy men were very agile and moved quickly. Each of them were great experts in Gu refinement. During the Gu refinement process, a few old hairy men even gave their suggestions to tweak the recipe. Looking at their casual movements, Fang Yuan's heart was pounding. Such a group of hairy men, if they were sold in Treasure Yellow Heaven, they would be the elite of elite slaves. There would be at least 21 meters of treasure light. Those Gu immortals would fight for them. These hairy men had shocking attainments. Most of them were refinement masters. Several of the old hairy men who could suggest the tweaking of the recipe were already refinement grandmasters. Right now, Fang Yuan was still barely a refinement master. With such skilled subordinates, the refinement process was faster than Fang Yuan's refinement on Xianxia Mountain by more than 10 times. These hairy men made the half-done product and handed it over to the old hairy men for inspection before giving it to Xianxia Land Spirit. Xianxia Land Spirit quickly collected the half-done products, and after checking them, destroyed a few pieces and made the hairy men refine them again. After several tries, Xianxia Land Spirit was finally satisfied and started doing it himself, easily getting the half-done product of second aperture Gu. This was the same as the half-done version that Fang Yuan had right now. But Fang Yuan knew that the one in Xianxia Land Spirit's hands was way higher in quality. Eventually, Xianxia Land Spirit took out Divine Travel Gu. This Divine Travel Gu surface was damaged. It was filled with injuries, and Fang Yuan's heart jumped upon seeing that. Lad, it is still not too late to change your mind. Xianxia Land Spirit stopped his actions, urging Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan frowned. After thinking through it, he laughed. No, please continue. Scheming fellow, I couldn't hide it from you. Xianxia Land Spirit cursed, pinching his nose as he teleported several Gu worms over along with some precious materials. Fang Yuan stared with wide-opened eyes. He only recognized 2 of them. They were precious items that increased the chances of success in Gu refinement. If they were placed in Treasure Yellow Heaven, the treasure light would hit 18 meters. Xianxia Land Spirit's every movement attracted countless gazes. The hairy men were watching in awe as their bodies shivered. Their eyes were full of extreme reverence. Fang Yuan watched with great anticipation when Xianxia Land Spirit refined the Gu. It moved as smooth as water. There were no unnecessary movements or any atmosphere of panic. Xianxia Land Spirit displayed exemplary control. Fang Yuan gained a lot of insights. Although he wanted to continue watching like this, Fang Yuan bit his lips and forced himself to snap out of it, starting to execute his plan. He sat down cross-legged and took out 2 Gu that he had prepared prior to this. One was Clear Mind Gu, the other was Awakened Cloud Gu. These 2 Gu were rank 4. After Fang Yuan injected primeval essence into them, they started working. Clear Mind Gu turned into a breeze, entering his brain. The cotton-like Awakened Cloud Gu turned into a small white cloud and floated about Fang Yuan's head. Fang Yuan stared at the light lump that Xianxia Land Spirit was manipulating while bringing out 4 top-quality wines. With connecting Heaven Gu to enter Treasure Yellow Heaven, it was easy for him to gather top-quality wines. For this moment, he prepared at least 14 different wines. Sensing Fang Yuan's movement, Xianxia Land Spirit snorted in displeasure, but did not do anything to him. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly in relief, ignoring the piercing light that made his tears flow. He stared at the light lump intently. Finally, he saw Divine Travel Gu turn into flowing water as it mixed with the other materials. Fang Yuan quickly took out the wine vats and gulped the liquor. At the same time, an intense feeling of tipsiness assaulted him. Fang Yuan quickly activated Clear Mind Gu, forcing himself awake as clarity was restored in his mind. At the same time, Awakened Cloud Gu rumbled and ensured that his mind was at its peak condition. After drinking 4 wines, Fang Yuan was still clear-headed, but he realized that nothing had happened yet. The light was still transforming. It had expanded by many times already since the start. It was larger than an elephant. It seems that Divine Travel Gu has not disappeared. Yet, Immortal Gu are unique. I have to continue drinking. Fang Yuan took out another vat and unsealed it, gulping the content. The light lump shrunk as Xianxia Land Spirit's expression became more serious as it held the light lump. A moment later, after Fang Yuan drank the 8th wine, his vision was already turning blurry. At this moment, in Lang Ya Land Spirit's hand, the light lump expanded and shrunk in intervals. After 3 to 5 times, it settled, becoming second aperture Gu. The moment second aperture Gu was formed, Fang Yuan's body shuddered as all the drunkenness in his body gathered like the merging of rivers into the sea, condensing into one point. Out of nowhere, a divine opportunity descended as the Dao mark formed, causing this point to explode into one Gu, Divine Travel Gu. Second aperture Gu, Divine Travel Gu. 2 immortal Gu obtained at the same time. Fang Yuan became completely sober as he stood up excitedly, laughing heartily. A truly profound scheme. Lang Ya Land Spirit looked at Fang Yuan with an expression of fatigue. Its body was also turning hollow and weak. Fang Yuan was the person who obtained Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's inheritance. Although Lang Ya Land Spirit wanted Divine Travel Gu, it could not attack Fang Yuan. The hairy men stared at Fang Yuan with furious, disdainful eyes. This vile human dared to plot against our beloved and supreme lord, Lang Ya Old Immortal. Fang Yuan paid these hairy men no heed. He stopped his laughter as he bowed to Lang Ya Land Spirit. It was just a petty scheme. It is nowhere near graceful. Today, I had a true eye-opener and had benefited a lot. I am shameful of my actions, but I am respectful towards you. I am willing to become your disciple. Chapter 487, Immortal Gu Transaction. Screw off. If accept you as my disciple, I reckon one day I will die from anger. My children are the best, giving me no worries. Now get lost. I don't want to see you. Lang Ya Land Spirit kept on waving his hand, refusing Fang Yuan's request to be his disciple without hesitation. He could have obtained the second aperture Gu, but Fang Yuan plotted against him and made him offer the successfully refined second aperture Gu readily, along with losing the Divine Travel Gu. Fang Yuan chuckled, not minding the Land Spirit's refusal. Land Spirits were formed from the obsessions of the Gu Immortals. They were simple and biased. Their refusal now meant they would still refuse in the future. Such a pity. I originally intended to give Divine Travel Gu to you as our apprenticeship gift. The people I don't like the most are crafty people like you. The hairy men are still the best. I will tell you the truth. I have already taken 18 hairy men as my disciples. In the future as well, I will only take hairy men as my disciples. All right, give me the second aperture Gu. Fang Yuan stretched out his hand. Lang Ya Land Spirit's expression turned sluggish and glanced at the immortal Gu on his hand with reluctance. This was the Gu he wanted to refine, and now he had succeeded, but he had to give it up without even getting cozy with it. But the agreement back then had formed a type of will that became a part of the Land Spirit. He was unable to violate it, and also did not intend to violate it. Kid, I will remember you. Lang Ya Land Spirit growled and stuffed the second aperture Gu in Fang Yuan's hand. This second aperture Gu looked like a beetle with 2 sharp ends and a fat middle body. The beetle was the size of a young man's fist. It was like blue jade and felt soft and cool to the touch. There was a golden eye on its plump back. The golden eye flashed with lightning and had ample spirituality. This is the Gu I took the risks for at Xianxia Mountain and wanted to refine by all means. I hadn't expected I would obtain this in this way. Fang Yuan sighed, but did not use it hurriedly and stored it in his pouch first. Under the cooperation of Lang Ya Land Spirit, this second aperture Gu was already Fang Yuan's object, but he was still not a Gu immortal and did not have green grape immortal essence, so he could not activate it now. You already have the immortal Gu. You can leave now if you don't want to use your final chance. Lang Ya Land Spirit wanted to make him leave. Fang Yuan, however, took out Divine Travel Gu and waved it in front of Lang Ya Land Spirit with a smile. You don't want this immortal Gu? Lang Ya Land Spirit's brows raised. What? You want to sell it? He had connecting heaven Gu and could connect to treasure yellow heaven to buy all kinds of Gu refinement materials. Even the human apertures required to refine second aperture Gu could be obtained by buying enslaved Gu masters and killing them. Second aperture Gu was an expendable Gu. It would disappear after Fang Yuan used it. Lang Ya Land Spirit could completely refine another. Of course, the precondition was that he needed to have divine travel Gu. Without divine travel Gu, he would never be able to refine second aperture Gu. Fang Yuan, however, did not directly answer and instead asked, "Tell me, if I use another second aperture Gu, can I have a third aperture?" Keep on dreaming. Xianxia land spirit immediately scoffed. "This is the second aperture Gu, not the third aperture Gu. You want to form a third aperture? Then go refine the recipe for third aperture Gu." Fang Yuan nodded and said sincerely, "I also thought so." The land spirit would not deceive him just because it wanted the divine travel Gu. At the same time, he also knew second aperture Gu's recipe, so he had already deduced this. He asked this just to confirm it. With this, the divine travel Gu and the semi-finished second aperture Gu with Fang Yuan had lost their use. Fang Yuan already possessed a second aperture Gu. He was a lone force and did not have any trusted aid to support, so he did not need another second aperture Gu. Moreover, when he observed the land spirit's Gu refinement process just before, he knew the final step was extremely dangerous. The light ball's inflation and contractions required extremely strong control, which required at least 1,000-man soul to maintain. How could immortal Gu be so easy to refine? Fortunately, back at Xianxia Mountain, Fang Yuan did not set his heart in refining the second aperture Gu after rebirth. Otherwise, with his strength back then, he would absolutely have had a terrible ending. Just the backlash could put him on the brink of death. Of course, he could also sell them at Treasure Yellow Heaven. But if he did so, he would attract old man Yan Shi's attention and expose many of his trump cards. At the same time, the things he got might be tampered with by other Gu immortals. Transacting with Xianxia land spirit was different. At least the land spirit would not give him shoddy goods and also had robust financial resources, so he could buy divine travel Gu to refine Gu. Last but not least, Fang Yuan could also avoid revealing himself, thus it was very secure. Land spirit, take a look at what this is. Fang Yuan thought for a while before directly taking out the semi-finished second aperture Gu that he had personally refined. This semi-finished product had a vague appearance like a semi-finished pottery, with no hints of life. It was like a piece of gray stone that was carved into a beetle. Its big belly looked elegant with sharp head and tail, but no antennas or legs. Although its appearance was similar to the real second aperture Gu, they clearly could not be compared because of qualitative difference. Xianxia land spirit's eyes could not help but brighten when he saw this semi-finished product. To think you had actually reached such a stage. But the most difficult step in refining second aperture Gu is the final step. The steps before it can be refined by the refinement path Gu masters at master level. The land spirit's tone carried a trace of joy. Fang Yuan had divine travel Gu and also the semi-finished product. If he could get them both, then only the final step would be remaining to refine second aperture Gu. To Xianxia land spirit, this temptation was hard to resist. "Speak, what do you want?" Xianxia land spirit removed his burning gaze and looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan looked at the divine travel Gu on his right hand and immediately said, "Immortal Gu are priceless, so of course I want to exchange it with another immortal Gu. This is the old rule in transacting immortal Gu." Xianxia land spirit's expression immediately fell. Although it is the old rule, it is not suitable for our situation. First of all, divine travel Gu is not practical and can only be used as an escape means as a last resort. In case it teleported the Gu master to the depths of a volcano or to the depths of the earth, it would simply be finding one's doom. Secondly, I will be using divine travel Gu to refine Gu. But what use can second aperture Gu be for a land spirit like me? Fang Yuan was happy. The land spirit's gaze was fixed on the divine travel Gu when he was haggling over the price. Although he sounded unyielding, his expression betrayed his thoughts. "Land spirit, you are too stingy. I know Xianxia blessed land has many immortal Gu. Divine travel Gu is a rank 6 immortal Gu. I won't be greedy and only want to exchange it for a rank 6 immortal Gu." The land spirit shook his head repeatedly and said many things, but Fang Yuan did not loosen up. The land spirit gradually felt anxious and fury filled his expression. He looked like he wanted to eat Fang Yuan alive. When Fang Yuan saw that the time was right, he said, "Let's do this then. I shall take a step back in exchange for one of your expendable type rank 6 Immortal Gu. When I have used this Immortal Gu, you can then refine it again. Right? The land spirit's expressions relaxed. Fang Yuan, taking the step back first, gave him a satisfying feeling of victory. He snorted a few times and raised his head, looking arrogantly at Fang Yuan. All right, we shall do it like that. He then spread out his hands and brought 5 Immortal Gu out of nowhere. Xianxia Blessed Land's foundation is really strong. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly. He was suddenly stupefied when he looked at them. I want this Immortal Gu. Fang Yuan's expression was slightly strange as he pointed to one Immortal Gu among them. This Immortal Gu was none other than Immortal Gu Gruel Mud, the perpetrator in causing Dang Hun Mountain to slowly die. He had not thought Xianxia Land Spirit would refine it. The two sides quickly completed the transaction. Fang Yuan obtained the Immortal Gu Gruel Mud. He did not put it in his aperture, but stored it in his pouch for the moment. I used all my mental and physical efforts for this semi-finished product. You will be saving great expenses by getting it. We are both familiar with each other now. I will sell it to you cheap. I only need 1,000 hairy men. I won't be greedy. You can give me those old hairy men that refined the Gu just before as well. Bullshit. The land spirit was fuming with anger. You think I'm a 3-year-old kid? Those hairy men are at least of master level in Gu refinement. The treasure light, if they are put in treasure yellow heaven, will be at least 70 feet high. Fang Yuan snickered. He really coveted these hairy men. These hairy men would be of enormous help to him. All right, I don't want 1,800 will do. Bullshit 800. All these hairy men are my children. I won't sell a single one. Xianxia Land Spirit roared in anger. All things have a price. We can still discuss. Not for sale means not for sale. If you mention this again, you can take your semi-finished product with you. I am not buying it. Fang Yuan was inwardly shocked at Xianxia Land Spirit's firm attitude. He had dropped down the price to the bottom and Xianxia Land Spirit would clearly have profited. But he still did not agree to sell the hairy men. It seems he really had emotional attachments to the hairy men. This situation was not strange. Many Gu immortals raised variant humans in their blessed land like raising pets. They would see their growth and even expend many efforts in raising them. And when they died, the Gu immortals would also shed tears because of heartache. Of course, this situation would never happen to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan felt a pity at not being able to buy these hairy men, so he changed his request. Since it is so, then I want to exchange for wolf enslavement Gu's recipes. There were large numbers of recipes in Xianxia Blessed Land. After gathering them from ancient times until now, one could even say they were as vast as the sea. It was impossible for it to not have common recipes like that of wolf enslavement Gu. Fang Yuan had been wanting to purchase these recipes all along, but ever since he discovered the existence of Old Man Yan Shi, he had been restraining his actions in Yellow Treasure Heaven. Wisdom Path Gu masters were experts at deductions, but deductions need a foundation and require large amounts of information. With these information as the base, they could then deduce and predict the outcome. If Fang Yuan wantonly bought wolf enslavement Gu recipes from Yellow Treasure Heaven, it was hard to guarantee that Old Man Yan Shi would not be able to deduce something. Take them. These are the recipes for rank 1 to rank 5 wolf enslavement, Gu Xianxia Land. Spirit handed a large stack of recipes to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan skimmed over them and saw that there were 8 types of recipes just for the rank 5 wolf enslavement Gu recipe. They used different materials and different procedures to obtain the similar Gu worm. And there were even more types of rank 1 to rank 4 wolf enslavement Gu recipes. This transaction is worth it. Fang Yuan was inwardly happy. Transaction is finished. You can leave now. Xianxia Land Spirit impatiently waved his hand. Fang Yuan, however, smiled. No hurry, no hurry. I still have a transaction you will definitely be interested in. Young man, don't talk big. There are not many things that can interest this old man in this world. Xianxia Land Spirit stroked his beard and said with pride, what I am transacting this time is information. This information is about the time I will use the second aperture Gu. Langya land spirit's expression turned sluggish and looked dazedly at Fang Yuan, his brows deeply furrowed, and looked at Fang Yuan with intense disdain and hatred. You, how can you be so despicable and shameless? Aren't there any limits to the degradation of your morals? Ha ha ha. Fang Yuan laughed loudly. Could it be you are not interested in this information? Langya land's spirit immediately felt like he had been raped, and he still had to bear the humiliation to apologize to the criminal. Could he not be interested? The second aperture Gu was an immortal Gu, and immortal Gu were unique. If Fang Yuan never used it, then he would forever be unable to refine another second aperture Gu. How do you want to sell it? The land spirit endured the impulse to beat up Fang Yuan and asked, swallowing his anger. Fang Yuan narrowed his eyes, sharp rays of light flickering in them. I won't take advantage of you, so I want to exchange information for information. I want to know all the information about the 88 True Yang building in Imperial Court, Blessed Land. 88 True Yang building. You actually know that this immortal Gu house has something to do with me. The land spirit was shocked. Chapter 488, Ma Ying. Thud, thud. A series of hurried sounds came from afar. Soon, a group of Gu masters riding terror claw horses came to the swamp. Terror claw horses had bloodshot eyes with fangs and were carnivorous. They did not have any hair on its body. The skin was tight and their muscles were clearly visible, giving a feeling of strength that could not be underestimated. The most peculiar point was that they did not have horse hooves, but instead had 4 long sharp claws. There were also webbings connecting the claws, so terror claw horse were not only suitable for climbing, but could also move freely at swamps. Lord Elders, they have passed through here towards that direction. An investigative Gu master's eyes flickered with red light as he scanned all around and reported. A young Gu master at the side immediately frowned and anxiously said, "Not good, uncle. If we continue along this way, we will reach Rock's Pool over there. Once they cross Rock's Pool, they will be out of Warm Pond Valley. It will be difficult to kill them then. Relax. Fei Qing has been struck by your dad's poison Gu and is in imminent crisis. Moreover, he is bringing his child with him. The further he moves with his ghost cloud, the more the poison will worsen. He won't be able to run far. Let's continue our chase." The elders laughed and waved their hand, continuing the chase. After they chased into the sparse woods, the swamp they had been standing at suddenly surged and a yellowish silkworm drilled out. The silkworm was broken from the inside and 2 people walked out, a middle-aged Gu master and a child. The 2 looked in a very miserable state and gasped for breath as they dropped to the ground. We finally deceived them. The middle-aged Gu master, Fei Qing, had a purple hue all over his face. The poison had spread deep. His movement, Gu, the swift ghost cloud Gu, had been tampered with. Fei Qing had been feeling something wrong when they were chased all the way. Thus, he immediately gave up the swift ghost cloud Gu and let it fly away. After that, he took his son and hid within the swamp. But with this, he lost his movement ability and his body was also poisoned. There was no longer any hope to escape. Fei Chang, you despicable person. For the clan leader position, you actually secretly poisoned me, your own cousin. Damn it, you abomination. Fei Qing got more angry the more he thought about it. Under this desperation and with fury filling his heart, he suddenly spurted out a mouthful of green blood. Father, father, are you okay? You need to hang on. The child started weeping when he saw the blood and threw himself into Fei Qing's chest. Son? Fei Qing's despairing eyes showed a trace of hope and resolution. He lovingly looked at his only heir and rubbed the small head. Little Kai, father can't go on. Fei Chang has plotted deeply. I can only deceive him this one time. Not long later, he will definitely find something wrong and return back. Leave quickly. Father will hold off these people for you. Go along that small path I told you of, and perhaps you can survive on. No, father, I want to leave with you. Let's run together. Father, I beg you. The son, Fei Kai, wept in grief. Fei Qing was feeling very anxious, so he roused his spirits and grabbed Fei Kai's shoulders. Little Kai, don't cry. Northern Plains men can shed blood, but not tears. You need to have confidence. In your body flows giant sun immortal venerables bloodline. You are a member of the Wang Jin family. The bloodline in you is thick and rarely seen. You have the qualifications to enter 88th True Yang building. Cough, cough. Green blood continued to seep out from Fei Qing's mouth and nose. Little Kai, take care of yourself. If you have a chance in the future to enter Imperial Court Blessed Land, go to 88th True Yang building and obtain the Grace Annister giant sun left behind for the later generations. Only then can you avenge me. Father, leave. It will be too late if you delay any longer. Fei Qing pushed his son. Fei Kai took back several steps, helplessly looking at his father with tears-filled face. Leave quickly. Fei Qing growled. Fei Kai wiped away his tears before tears immediately fell down. He fiercely gnashed his teeth, turned around and ran. Son, father has done his best as long as you can escape the evil clutches. Fei Qing sat on the ground and looked at Fei Kai's receding figure, but soon his eyes gradually widened. Fool, stop. Fei Qing could not help straightening up his upper body and shouting at his son. Father. Fei Kai had only run a few steps before he heard Fei Qing shout. He gazed back with doubt. Veins popped out of Fei Qing's forehead as he shouted, "You idiot, I told you to run towards northwest direction. Why are you running towards southeast? Are you thinking of going back to the tribe camp to look for your own death?" Fei Kai quickly changed direction, but Fei Qing soon shouted again, "You dunce, that is southwest direction." Fei Kai quickly changed direction again, moving towards the correct path, and only then did Fei Qing let out a breath of turbid air. Hi. The middle-aged Gu master helplessly sighed. His son had thick bloodline but was somewhat of an idiot and moreover had a really poor sense of direction. Could he truly escape to see the day? Thinking of Fei Chang's deep conspiracy, Fei Qing did not have big hope, but he had done what he could do. Now it all depended on the heavens. After a while, like Fei Qing expected, Fei Chang returned with a gloomy face, leading 3 Gu masters on their terror claw horse. Fei Qing, you were sure enough hiding here. Fei Chang's voice was gloomy and hoarse, his gaze as sharp as a knife, not concealing the dense killing intent within. To think I would die by a vile character like you. Fei Qing scoffed with disdain. Right now, his body was already paralyzed and could not budge. Fei Chang snickered coldly and said with an expression like that of a cat playing with a mouse, "I won't kill you so quickly." Fei Qing, aren't you noble and aloof? Wait till I capture your son. I will let you witness your son being tortured and killed. Hee. Fei Qing couldn't keep his calm anymore and stared furiously. Fei Chang, you are his senior to think you actually can be so vicious. When you cut grass, if you don't root it out, then it can grow again when the spring wind arrives. Men, bring Fei Qing to me. Fei Chang ordered. The Gu masters beside him immediately moved and bound Fei Qing tightly. Then using a hemp rope, they dragged him on the ground. Fei Qing, get a good taste of the mud. Chase, we must find that kid and kill him. Fei Chang laughed loudly, full of satisfaction. Fei Chang was thinking, since Fei Qing was caught, catching that stupid kid would be an easy matter. But reality was different. Fei Chang came to the rocks pool, but he did not find anyone besides his men. The kid didn't run towards here? Speak. Where did he go? Fei Chang asked in a chilly voice. Fei Qing had been dragged all the way. His body was badly battered and had already lost his consciousness. Fei Chang kicked him awake, but he only got Fei Qing's ridiculing gaze. Fei Chang laughed sinisterly. You think I won't know if you don't speak? Saying so, his eyes let out a weird light that shone on Fei Qing's body. Fei Qing's body shuddered, his soul immediately receiving heavy injuries. Soul Search Gu. Fei Chang stretched out his bony right hand and grabbed Fei Qing's head before closing his eyes and agitating his primeval essence. Fei Qing's body shuddered and started foaming. The 2 Gu masters at the sight kept quiet in fear. In an instant, Fei Chang opened his eyes. His face had paled and his gaze was blurred. This rank 3 Soul Search Gu could search a portion of the memories stored in the soul, but it had a lot of restrictions. First, the memories it obtained would be very disordered, and secondly, it could not be frequently used, otherwise it could confuse the soul and make one have blurred consciousness, thus could be extremely harmful to oneself. Fei Chang had grievances with Fei Qing for a long time and also knew Fei Kai had a thick bloodline. He could only be at ease when he personally killed the kid. Thus, he did not stint on using Soul Search Gu. So there was a hidden path nearby. Fei Chang smiled proudly. He was fortunately able to search the memories he wanted. He turned around his horse and immediately moved towards that hidden path. But when they arrived at this place, he could not find any traces of a person. How can this be? That kid is still not of age and has not opened his aperture yet, is only a mortal. It is impossible for him to hide from my investigative Gu. Could it be the memories I plundered is only a part of the crucial point? Fei Chang scouted once more and saw the narrow road in the bushes. His face became very cloudy. Woo, woo. Right at this time, a deep and powerful bugle horn sounded from outside the warm pond valley. Fei Chang and the rest immediately paled. Lord Elders, please go back to reinforce the troops. Ma tribe has brought a huge army, starting a war without any notice. The tribe is already in a state of emergency. A Gu master hurried over on a flying bird with the information. What? Fei Chang was extremely surprised. Just as the Fei tribe's internal disorder had started, Ma tribe came to invade. This timing was too coincidental. If there is no Fei tribe, then what meaning would there be in taking the Fei tribe's tribe leader position? Defend to death. We must defend. Warm Pond Valley is easy to defend and hard to attack. Ma tribe's army retreat isn't impossible, right? I still have hope. Thinking of this, Fei Chang immediately threw Fei Kai off his mind, then hurriedly rushed to the tribe camp. However, Ma tribe's invasion had been planned in advance. They took advantage of Fei tribe's internal disorder and ambushed. Fei tribe might have the advantage of occupying Warm Pond Valley, but they finally could not resist Ma tribe's strong and huge wave of soldiers. Right, as Fang Yuan entered Langya blessed land, a great event occurs in northern plains. A large-scale force of the Huangjin family, Fei tribe that were occupying Warm Pond Valley, was exterminated. No doubt this news would create a huge influence in the whole northern plains. On a slope, Ma tribe's higher-ups were observing the ruined Fei tribe camp from their war horses. These people were circling around a young man like the stars surrounding the moon. Seeing batch after batch of goods being stored in the carts and groups of captives being escorted away, Ma tribe's higher-ups had a joyous expression. One rank 3 Gu Master Elder cupped his fists towards the young man in the center. Congratulations to young Master. It was all because of young Master's plan to drive a discord and create internal disorder in Fei tribe that we could so easily capture Warm Pond Valley, swallow Fei tribe, and establish great merits for the tribe. This young man was Ma tribe's young tribe leader, Ma Yingji. He had a wide back with thin waist, sharp brows, and bright eyes, a heroic spirit, and a cultivation of rank 4 middle stage. He was an enslavement path Gu master with some fame, also called Little Ma Zun. Chapter 489, The Debate About Chang Shan Yin. They won, but Ma Yingji did not show any arrogance. Instead, he said, Warm Pond Valley is easy to defend and hard to attack, possessing large areas of warm pools. The Great Blizzard is about to come, and this place is a naturally protected place. By obtaining it, my tribe has a base of operations. We can advance while attacking or defend if we retreat. But the thing I am even more happy about is obtaining over 200,000 Terra Claw horses. With these horses, Uncle can greatly raise his horse group scale and increase my Ma tribe's supreme might in the coming Heroes Assembly. His uncle was none other than one of the current 3 great enslavement masters, Ma Zun. When Ma Zun was mentioned, all the Ma tribe's Gu masters showed admiration. Before we left, Uncle had told me it was not easy for our Ma tribe to become a large-scale tribe. Only after several hundred years of accumulation, efforts, and extraordinary fortune were we able to reach this state. But as the tribe grows, defending this foundation is becoming more difficult. Even by striking Warm Pond Valley, we have only obtained a base to preserve the fire. The only way to preserve the whole tribe is to advance a step further. That is to enter the imperial court. Ma Yingjie looked at everyone before continuing. Imperial Court Blessed Land is giant son Immortal Venerable's grace left to his descendants, especially that 88 True Yang building, which has the inheritance of the Immortal Venerable. Uncle said my bloodline has already fulfilled the criteria to enter 88 True Yang building. If I can obtain Immortal Venerable's inheritance and later become a Gu Immortal, our Ma tribe will become the new super tribe of Northern Plains. Super tribe. This phrase immediately caused the Ma tribesmen to show a spellbound look. Young tribe leader, you are a once-in-100 years genius of our tribe. Our tribe's future lies on your shoulders. Lord Ma Xun might be taciturn, but he really cares about the tribe in his heart and has a far foresight. Being able to witness everything and fight with young tribe leader is my lifetime's glory. Young tribe leader, lead us to brilliance. Ma tribe's Gu masters cheered excitedly. Ma Yingjie smiled. In truth, Ma Xun had never said anything like this, and these words were all his own fabrication. Borrowing Ma Xun's prestige, Ma Yingjie added light and color to his name. Just think, even Ma Xun looked so highly of him, so the others would have to be blind to not support him. Ma Yingjie was also not worried that Ma Xun would tear apart this name after he knew of this. Ma Xun was an eccentric. He spoke extremely few times, even as a child. His silence almost made his parents think he was a mute. Ma Xun loved horses and was jokingly called horse maniac and horse fool by the tribesmen when he was young. He had a reclusive nature and never married in his life. He only loved horses and would live with them all year round, with not even a slightest bit of interest and concern towards worldly powers and affairs. Ma Yingjie's gaze brightened like stars. All of you are the pillars of my Ma tribe, with many outstanding points that are worth for me, Ma Yingjie, to learn. I am still young. Ma tribe cannot be supported by me alone. In the future, I hope to rely on everyone's help. What is young tribe leader saying? Young lord's words make us blush with shame. Over these years, young tribe leader's performance has deeply entered our hearts. We will definitely follow you. The group of Ma tribesmen quickly agreed. Ma Yingjie continued, although Uncle Ma Xun has entrusted his hope on me, we still need to look at destiny to obtain the Immortal Venerable's inheritance in 88 True Yang building. But even if I can get it, there are many inheritances left all over the Imperial Court Blessed Land besides the True Yang building. Thus, all the tribes who have had entered the Imperial Court throughout history had a huge raise in their strength. Every time I think about this, I cannot help feeling excited. The tribesmen laughed haughtily. Not just excitement, even my saliva drips out every time I think of it. Haha, young tribe leader does not need to have too much pressure. If we lose, we can come back again. Our Ma tribesmen are warriors who will never surrender. Imperial Court Blessed Land was similar to TNT Mountain in that Gu masters often left behind their inheritances. Northern Plains had a very cruel environment, with there being a great blizzard every 10 years, the snowy disaster engulfing the entire Northern Plains. The blizzard would cut through everything like knives. Many inheritances set up in the wild would be destroyed. Thus, setting up inheritances in Imperial Court Blessed Land had gradually turned into a tradition of Northern Plains. Imperial Court Blessed Land had many other inheritances besides the 88 True Yang buildings' Immortal Venerable inheritance, waiting for their fated person. Of course, this fated person had to first enter Imperial Court Blessed Land to be able to receive the fortuitous destiny. Being able to evade the blizzard and live safely, along with the inheritances spread everywhere, was the reason why the struggle for Imperial Court would cause intense contests between all the tribes of the grassland. This contest involved the whole Northern Plains and was of an extremely large scale. Small-scale tribes wanted to survive, mid-scale tribes wanted to advance, and large-scale tribes wanted to defend their foundation. Not only righteous paths, but even demonic path Gu masters wanted to enter the Blessed Land and seize the Gu master inheritances. For this struggle, the Heroes' Assembly came into existence and slowly took form till it became a firm tradition of Northern Plains people. As the Great Blizzard approached, all the famous regions of Northern Plains would hold a Heroes' Assembly at the same time. We have annihilated Fei tribe this time. It will bring us great benefits in our progress in Tianquan's Heroes' Assembly. As long as we can subjugate Cheng tribe, our Ma tribe will have a strong lead. Right? Only by winning the Heroes Assembly can we attract more experts and make many tribes attached to us. This is the first step of the Great Battle of Northern Plains, and also the most important step. We are looking to enter Imperial Court Blessed Land, so we need to survey other regions too. Yu Tian's, Meng Chu, and Cao Fu's Heroes Assembly all need to be observed closely. Just as Ma tribe's higher-ups were passionately discussing, a messenger Gu master rushed in and delivered the newest intel to Ma Yingji. Ma Yingji's face turned gloomy as he read the intel and shortly after handed this intel to the group beside him. Everyone read it one after another, letting out small exclamations, gasps, or conjectures from time to time. Dongfang tribe has already subjugated Zhao tribe with this. They are the ruler of Cao Fu's Heroes Assembly. In Mengshu region, Nuer tribe has actually sent Nuer to. Their momentum is very terrifying. I'm afraid Lui tribe won't be able to hold them off. There is also an uproar in Yutian's Heroes Assembly. The Wolf King of before, Chang Shanyin, actually appeared. This Chang Shanyin is really fierce. He actually led Ji tribe and challenged 3 tribes, even defeating Pei Yan Fei. In Yutian region, He tribes He Lu Lan and Liu tribes Lu Wen Wu are the elites. Now that the Wolf King has appeared, this will definitely have a big influence. It is very difficult to say what will happen in Yutian's Heroes Assembly. Soon, everyone's discussion focused on Fang Yuan. Chang Shanyin's identity had already spread for many years in Northern Plains. Now suddenly, he resurrected and was causing a stir. Zhu tribe was only an ordinary mid-scale tribe, but with Chang Shanyin's meddling, they were able to forcibly challenge 3 tribes and even defeat an expert like Pei Yan Fei, especially when they made inquiries and found Ji tribe's newly appointed tribe leader was only a rank 3 young Gu master. Their evaluation of Chang Shanyin raised by several layers. Every 10 years, heroes emerge and vie for supremacy with monsters and freaks emerging from every corners. It is only that this time such a great character jumped out. Young tribe leader, if this Wolf King Chang Shanyin and our tribe's Lord Ma Zun fought, who would win? Everyone could not help having some worries. Ma Yingjie slightly furrowed his brows. If it was other paths Gu masters, it would be all right. But this Chang Shanyin was an enslavement path Gu master, an expert in fighting 10,000 with one. He could change the situation alone with his huge troops. You have all read the int. Enslavement path's Gu master strength depends on the scale of their beast group. Chang Shanyin has reappeared only recently, so the beasts he has are only some ordinary turtleback wolves, night wolves and wind wolves, and also has only 3 myriad beast kings. One has died and another is heavily injured. How can he compare to my uncle, Ma Zun? Ma Yingjie coldly snorted and continued to raise the morale. Uncle Ma Zun has a horse group with 300,000 horses. Adding on these Terra Claw horses, the scale will expand to 500,000. Besides this, he also has a horse emperor, 9 myriad beast kings, and 5 mutated horses. Now, say yourself, can the Wolf King be mentioned on equal terms with him? The surrounding Gu masters took a sharp breath, shocked and happy. I didn't think Lord Ma Zun's strength would be so big. The insignificant Wolf King is like a baby when compared to Lord Ma Zun. 500,000, such huge scale. It is enough to annihilate 7 or 8 mid-scale tribes. Ma Yingjie changed the subject, but Wolf King Chang Shanyin still cannot be underestimated. My tribe is going to become the master of Imperial Court. We will run into this person sooner or later. More importantly, in case he joins the Heroes Assembly and attaches himself to a Huangjin family, he will definitely receive huge assistance. Large number of Gu masters will help him to subdue wolf groups and urge him forward. The joy on everyone's faces gradually dimmed down. This young Gu master heaved a deep sigh and continued, "We have swallowed Fei tribe. This is only the first step of our journey. Next, we will be facing even more strong opponents. We need to unite together. Only then can we defeat them and enter the Imperial Court." Yes, young tribe leader is right. Young tribe leader is wise and powerful. I'm in great admiration. With the leadership of the tribe leader and young tribe leader, Our Ma tribe will definitely rule the northern plains. Everyone was unconsciously battered by Ma Yingjie's few words and became even more aligned towards Ma Yingjie. This Ma tribe's young tribe leader let out a pleased smile in his heart. On the surface, he showed a light and confident expression. Father, you died such a miserable death. Right at this time, a tragic cry sounded from the foot of the hill. This sound attracted the Ma tribesman's gaze. Ma Yingjie looked at the battlefield where corpses strewed the battlefield. A child had thrown himself on a corpse that was filled with scars and cried very grievingly, "Brat, get lost. You are already my tribe's slave." An adult man at the side beat up the child and dragged him forcibly. But this kid struggled with all his might and bit at the adult man's wrist. The adult man screamed, loosening his hand. The kid scampered along the way and again threw himself at that corpse, crying bitterly. "Sigh." Ma Yingjie let out a sincere sigh. "This misery and suffering is not what I wish for. But in these troubled times, who can live well by themselves? If you don't die, then I die. Human power is so insignificant. I will do everything I can to protect our tribe, to not let the children of my Ma tribe suffer such a fate." Young tribe leader is benevolent. The surrounding Gu masters also sighed. Ma Yingjie pointed down. "This kid is a loyal and filial person, but is facing this difficulty because of me. One of you go stop him and bring him here. He will become my personal servant from now on."
"Yes, Lord."
His attendants answered. They did not dissuade it, as adopting servants was a tradition in northern plains. Moreover, what threat can a 13-year-old kid who had not awakened his aperture possess to their lord young tribe leader? "Kid, get up." A higher-up of Ma tribe stopped the adultman from beating the kid and grabbed the kid's neck. The kid struggled fiercely. "No, I want to be with my father." "Kid, your father is already dead. Your luck is good today. My tribe's young leader has noticed you and is taking you in as his personal servant," the Ma tribe's higher-up said with a gentle voice. But the kid did not listen and only kept on crying, "Father, father." Suddenly, he stopped and looked sluggishly at his father's corpse. "Ah, you are not my father. My father's skin is darker than yours, and his nose bridge is higher than yours. He also has some white hair." The kid talked to himself in shock before furiously kicking the corpse and started crying again. "Father, where are you?" Dark lines appeared all over every Ma tribesman's forehead. Chapter 490 second aperture. While the chaotic situations converged in northern plains, the transaction in Xianxia blessed land also reached the end. You want the information of 88th Truyang building? It is not impossible. Xianxia land spirit muttered before looking at Fang Yuan with a sharp gaze. Xianxia land spirit's obsession was related to Space Escape Gu and Great Dream Immortal Venerable. Moreover, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had already passed away, and Xianxia land spirit was also not the long-hair ancestor himself, but a different living entity. When the Immortal Gu house was refined, only Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was there as the bystander. How could you know such a secret? Xianxia land spirit asked. Fang Yuan smiled. In his previous life, Ma Hongyun entered the 88th Truyang building and obtained the inheritance of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Later, Ma Hongyun was defeated and was chased until he mistakenly entered Xianxia Blessed Land and obtained the destiny left behind by Demon Venerable stealing heaven. Xianxia land spirit saw his tracks and while discussing spoke of this secret. Ma Hongyun became a Gu immortal later on, turning into a cornerstone of the northern plains, a great hero who resisted the invasion of the central continent. In an intense conversation once, he spoke of this secret which then spread out to the world. Naturally, Fang Yuan would not admit this fact in front of Xianxia land spirit. I have inherited the inheritance of thieving heaven demon venerable, and have many clues regarding Giant Sun Immortal Venerable as well. The reason I know of this secret is from calculations and deductions, Fang Yuan answered with a slight arrogant smile appearing on his face. Xianxia land spirit looked at Fang Yuan's expression and suddenly realized something as he asked, "Are you?" "Yes. Junior has some attainments in wisdom path." Fang Yuan casually lied with an extremely honest expression. Xianxia land spirit sighed. The gaze he looked at Fang Yuan carried a complicated expression. Wisdom Path appeared long ago. Tracing back its origins, it was created 3 million years ago in ancient times by an almighty rank 9. This person was a rarely seen female venerable.
She was called by the world as star constellation Immortal Venerable.
She controlled heavenly court as the second-generation immortal king. It was rumored that she had once held Wisdom Gu itself and created the Wisdom Path. Before her death, she deduced heavenly secrets and made 3 arrangements for the 3 million years after that. After her death, 3 demon venerables appeared successively in human race, each charging their way to the heavenly court, but were blocked by these 3 arrangements in the end. Being able to calculate the appearance of 3 venerables, one could see some grandeur of Wisdom Path from this. Kid, you're actually able to deduce to this degree. It seems you have indeed obtained the essence of Wisdom Path. After learning Fang Yuan was a Wisdom Path Gu master, the land spirit's tone unexpectedly became milder. To this age, there were extremely few true inheritors of Wisdom Path, but even then, no one would have contempt for Wisdom Path Gu masters. Wisdom Path Gu masters were good at scheming and deductions, and many of their enemies would not even know how they died. Moreover, since ancient times, Refinement Path was closely connected to Wisdom Path. To comprehend the world and deduce Gu refinement recipes, Gu masters would need to use many methods of Wisdom Path. Many Gu refinement masters and grandmasters would request help from Wisdom Path Gu masters when they met a bottleneck in creating recipes. Lang Yalan spirit was disgusted with Fang Yuan's slyness, but when he knew Fang Yuan had extraordinary achievements in Wisdom Path, his attitude became gentler. Lang Yalan spirit liked refining Gu, and naturally also liked researching and innovating Gu recipes. In this process, he would naturally encounter many obstacles which would be hard to resolve with just his wisdom. Maybe I will have to request his help to deduce recipes in the future. This thought emerged in Lang Yalan's spirit's mind. As the saying goes, one can be austere if he has no selfish desires. Since Lang Yalan's spirit had some request for Fang Yuan, his attitude naturally turned better. He summoned a rank 4 East Window Gu and held it. This Gu was a rank 4 Gu under Information Path. It was like a ladybug, but its carapace was square-shaped like a window frame and was especially used to store information. Lang Yalan's spirit poured his thoughts within it and loosened his hand only after a while. East Window Gu opened up its window-like carapace and flew, making a circle in the air before flying towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan sent out his thoughts and checked it. His face immediately revealed joy. This is the information you wanted. Now, it is your turn. Lang Yalan's spirit reminded. Fang Yuan chuckled. Since second aperture Gu has formed, I also am somewhat impatient to use such a good thing. I will send you the news before I use it. Slow down. Lang Yalan's spirit showed its cleverness. How would I know till when you're going to delay it? You are a Wisdom Path Gu master. You are the top in scheming. Are you still thinking of using this to cheat me again? We have not transacted this East Window Gu yet. With my one thought, the East Window Gu on your hand will self-destruct. Fang Yuan frowned. Could it be you don't trust me? Lang Yalan's spirit had suspicions all over his face. Just the fact alone that you are the inheritor of Demon Venerable stealing heaven, I can't trust you. You are so crafty and also have Wisdom Path methods. Once you exit the Blessed Land, can I still be able to chase you? In case you delay and take the chance to extort again, what would I do? Then how about you tell me what should we do? Fang Yuan impatiently said. Of course now. Use this second aperture Gu right in front of me. Only then can I be at ease. Lang Yalan's spirit stroked his grizzled beard, pleased at thinking of such a good idea. Fang Yuan grinned. Hey, I'm only a mere rank 5 now. How can I use this immortal Gu without immortal essence? Wait till I go out of the Blessed Land and ask for Grandpa to help me. Your grandfather can help you, but I can't. Don't speak rubbish. Lend the second aperture Gu to me. I will personally do it. Fang Yuan tried to make an excuse. The land spirit saw this and felt that Fang Yuan had really wanted to trick him. Thus his attitude became more firm. Fang Yuan looked like he had no choice and reluctantly let Lang Yalan's spirit help. Langyao Land Spirit received the second aperture Gu and poured immortal essence in it before throwing it to Fang Yuan. This second aperture, Gu, turned into a bean-sized green light and flew into Fang Yuan's body. Fang Yuan's whole body shook intensely. The bean-sized green light first poured into Fang Yuan's navel area, but in there it was rejected by Fang Yuan's aperture and could only hop over to the center of Fang Yuan's chest. Then, an explosion sounded like the thunder from the sky. The bean-sized green light exploded and formed into a new aperture that looked both real and virtual. Second aperture. This is second aperture. Fang Yuan felt his chest and mumbled to himself in a daze. Nonsense? What is it if not the second aperture? Langyao Land Spirit rolled his eyes. Second aperture has great advantages to cultivators like you, providing even greater advantage when you become Gu immortal. But if you are still thinking of having the third aperture Gu, that is impossible. You would have to deduce and infer this whole new third aperture Gu's recipe. Fang Yuan returned to his senses and looked profoundly at Langyao Land Spirit. The other intentionally raised this topic. No doubt it meant that he wanted to cooperate and deduce the Gu recipe. Langyao Land Spirit's face reddened when he saw Fang Yuan's evident gaze. Fang Yuan laughed and said his goodbye to Langyao Land Spirit. We will talk of this later. I will take my leave now. Get lost. Langyao Land Spirit repeatedly waved his hand. Only when Fang Yuan had completely left did Langyao Land Spirit let out a breath of relief, a trace of humiliation appearing on his face for having his intentions seen through. This sly kid. But when he thought of Fang Yuan's last words, which showed the intent of cooperating, Langyao Land Spirit's eyes flickered brightly. He stroked his beard and could not help falling in daydream. He had dozens and dozens more of incomplete Gu recipes. Since that kid could deduce such secrets, he definitely has extraordinary achievements in Wisdom Path. With his help, I will be able to make some breakthrough in most of these Gu recipes, and 13 of them could even be perfected. But just 2 people's cooperation is far from enough to complete the remaining 7 Gu recipes. But I need to be vigilant when I interact with this kid in the future to avoid being schemed by him. Fortunately, I was cautious today and made him use second aperture Gu on the spot. Otherwise, I might have been blackmailed by him again. Something does not feel right. I wasted immortal essence to activate the second aperture Gu. After exiting Langyao Blessed Land, Fang Yuan returned to Hu Immortal Blessed Land through Stargate Gu. Under his management, Hu Immortal Blessed Land already showed many good changes. In the beautiful western part of the Blessed Land, large numbers of wolf groups and small numbers of fox groups were coexisting with each other. Wolf group's arrival might have disrupted the easy life of the fox group, but they did not disastrous as casualties. The credit for all this went to the large numbers of iron shell flowers planted on the ground. Countless pink rabbits lived in the sea of iron shell flowers. Pink rabbits could be easily multiplied and became the main source of food of wolf groups and fox groups. At the eastern part, dreamy starlight pervaded the area, covering all the lakes with starry gauze. The wide expanse of dark clouds were planted with star fragment grass. The star fragment grass grew rapidly, and while they could only occupy the central area of the dark clouds at first, now they had already spread to the edges of the clouds. Fairy Yao Guang's planting methods are really good. Star fragment grass are the food of starlight fireflies, and at the same time their growth is rapidly increased with the help of the starlight fireflies. Fang Yuan repeatedly nodded his head. It was precisely because of the exchange for the starlight firefly group's breeding insights from Starlord Wan Xiang, Fairy Yao Guang, and others that he could avoid many detours and obtain quite a bit of gains. It is only that although the Starlight Firefly group is also expanding, but the number of Starlight Firefly Gu are instead decreasing. These days, I have been repeatedly using Stargate Gu. The consumption of the Starlight Firefly Gu is much higher than the rate of their creation. Fang Yuan then turned his gaze towards the lakes on the ground. These lakes were created by him drawing in the water in reverse to quench the fire. Now, many water wolves were living around these lakes. These water wolves made their nests beside the lakes, eating the blue jade crucian carps in the lakes and sometimes going ashore to devour the earth skin pigs who came to drink water. Blue jade, Crucian carps, and earth skin pigs were both animals Fang Yuan purchased before. Now, large groups of them had adapted to the new environment under Little Hu Immortal's control and became a part of the Hu Immortal Blessed Land's food chain. Especially the earth skin pigs, its reproducing ability was stronger than even pink rabbits and could eat almost anything, including mud. The pig group scale was gradually expanding. If not for water wolves and poison-beard wolves, the number of earth skin pigs would have been 30 to 40% higher.